recording. I will turn down Magic Sword. Goodbye, Magic Sword. Oh, I spent the afternoon, a large portion of this afternoon, going through the handbook, and what I realized was, Ahmed, was that Pathfinder playtest is not a augmentation to the existing rules. It is basically a completely new set of rules.
Yep.
It is completely new. Like the amount of things that I had to go, oh, that's not the same. That's not the same. The amount of times I went, oh, that's similar or the same, was not very many. Was outweighed by the difference in the rules. So that in mind, as we're building characters, which was slightly unexpected. I expected something to feel a lot like 3rd edition because I kind of in my mind went, oh, the open game license is based off of 3rd edition, so it has to be the same. I think the sameness ends at your character ability scores and just kind of goes from there. Level replaces a lot of the nuance between the difference between classes and the fact that you're adding your level to everything. I think is where things get lost. I think is the major distinction. But
I agree.
we should play like a combat. We should play a combat.
Yeah.
And I've got the token
combat.
for Grizzak, and we'll the same way we muddled through character creation, we'll muddle through combat. This won't be the most optimal, most efficient way you run combat because it's our first fucking time, and we've been hard. Like I've got my book full of fucking sticky notes. Like, here's how you do turns and actions, and what does cover and screening do, and how do you detect creatures, and what does movement mean, and what is a skill DC by level, and how does rest work? Like I spent the afternoon trying to dissect the action economy and rules behind the game. There are still holes in my knowledge, and I know that they're there because every single term, even if it was it was used in a previous edition, we have to look up the rule because it's completely changed. Everything is different. Everything's different. It is a total overhaul.
It's a new system.
What's left is what it still is it's D&D-ish, and it's still in the same realm of Dungeons and Dragons, as in it's not doing anything majorly different from what I think 5e is doing. From the spectrum of 1e Pathfinder to 5e Dungeons and Dragons, I think we're still on it. There are a couple of slick things that are there, really slick. I really like the action economy, the 3 actions, and that is my favorite part of what they've done. Some of the other stuff is kind of
stats and economy and action.
They turn everything into racial feat with a progression is so boring. It is so boring. It's like 17th level. I got to pick. Oh, now I have training in war axes. I'm like, you already.
I think the skills were shot.
The difference in skills, I'm not sure if it comes up in gameplay until you actually level, but there are concerns there. But the action economy, that's what I'm really excited to explore, and why don't we do that? Why don't we do that right now? Poor Marty figuring out the rules. Exactly. Well, we're trying to do it quickly, right? So sorry for doing a little bit of a later stream than what we said, but seriously, I've been trying to. All the alignments can be crazy.
Yeah, Marty, get your shit together. Grizzak died. What? Yeah, Lucas. We all have the same feeling about the. Yes, XP as well.
Oh, can wizards cast an armor? Like everything needs to be examined. Everything needs to be examined. So if you're expecting this well polished, as if we're Paizo, showing you how the rules work, I came to the conclusion reading through the stuff today. I'm like, I need to recheck everything I know. I need every assumption and every like arcane spell failure. A great call out, because I don't think I actually looked up what the fuck arcane spell failure is. It's not even a term that I came across. So, yeah, everything needs to be called into question.
It could be. I wouldn't say spell failure. I'd say, well, there's a skill to roll some spells. I didn't get into it, to be honest with you, but I think it's under weird conditions. So if you're wearing like heavy armor, it's gonna affect your encumbrance. That might be a negative, maybe. I'm still figuring that shit out.
I think for some of this stuff we look it up when it actually happens, because while I find this really interesting, I did not build a character, and I don't think any of you guys built an arcane character. I think you're allowed to wear your armor while you're casting primal spells. I didn't see anything to the contrary. Oh, fuck.
That's true. Okay.
Oh, the pollen count in Seattle has been absolutely brutal as of late.
Eat some berries and drink some water. Looks like you're in whatever.
Okay, so what Ahmed is doing right now, if you're a little bit confused, he's not having a stroke. He is actually.
I have kids, so it's possible.
He has a character that we played in a campaign long ago, which was a dwarven druid. And when he started honing in on Druid, I'm like, do you want to rebuild Grizzak? And Grizzak he is happy living on the side of the road in the dirt. And he's a dirty, dirty dwarf. And that was Grizzak's voice that you heard. So we built the Grizzak.
First name the, last name Grizzak.
Who is a adult dwarf. He's a druid, background scout, chaotic neutral worshiper of Obad High. His personality is confused and happy. And I would also add in there like lecherous. He was kind of personality dirty. I don't know how to description.
That's a description. Dirty.
Yeah, like he's very nature based. For his stats, he's decent strength, very good con, very good wisdom, and slightly low charisma. Base speed 20. He's got 1 hero point. You know what, Ahmed? I'm going to give you 2 hero points for this session because you've been the one that has showed up on time and actually showed up to both of these sessions. So congratulations, you have 2.
Yeah, I don't travel.
I don't have a life.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like you've been helping me fiddle through these rules and screw those other guys, right?
Take their hero points away. Wait, what? Not helping. Yeah, no, that's cool. Let's see how a hero point works in combat. Let's try combat.
Yeah, the difference between proficiency and skills don't make me happy, says Lucas, and the XP is kind of dumb. The XP puts more work on the DM because the DM now needs to award XP based off of the average character level of the party and how difficult everything was, as opposed to flat XP per monster. So it is easier for players to figure out how close they are to leveling. It is harder for the DM to figure out what is the appropriate award to do. So like, you can get used to it as a DM, but if you're trying to make things easy for the DM, you just made it more difficult. And they walked away from that process between 3.0 and 3.5 edition Dungeons & Dragons. They already learned that rule. So I would very much like to figure out what the design decision behind that was. There has to be a good reason, and I haven't seen what that reason is. So strong feedback. And I actually started putting together some sticky notes of things that I will give feedback on, because this is our day. This is our game, damn it. This is the thing that we choose to do for hours a week. This is our game, and
this is the thing we choose to do for 1 day a week.
Yeah, 1,000 XP per level, hard on DM is basically is my mental note, and I could explain that a little bit better when I do that. And you like big numbers. Yeah, big numbers. Maybe the number, like, are they shying away from any math? Is that the thing? Or do they want to get away from Do they want to get
Minimize
away
number
from
crunching.
like boar hunting? Okay, I'm gonna go kill 1,000 boars to level up to 20, but you shouldn't do that. Like, what are they trying to do? And you could make a rule and still have XP be a progression to bigger numbers.
Yeah,
And say a CR 4 levels lower or 6 level lower than your character grants 0 XP. Great. You can still have a progression that goes up. This 1,000 XP per level thing, it felt like somebody was trying to be slick, and it feels like they're being lazy, and it sounds it. If I read it as a player, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, 1,000 XP, awesome to track. But what it means for a DM, it means that we constantly have to go, what is the appropriate challenge for the character? Which isn't, in previous games, you had an option as a DM to run your campaign world in 2 ways. One, it was called status quo. The world is a dangerous place.
if you go in the wrong cave, you die.
The adventure could take you into a cave where the CR15 dragon lives, and if the DM is being a cool dude, he would kind of hint that the CR15 dragon is there, and if you're still 3rd level and you're running into that dungeon, then tough titties. Or you're gonna go run around and do the adventure. Or the other way of the pendulum, the spectrum, is every encounter should be perfectly balanced for the party's level. And I don't know, that works if you're running a really on the rails game where you're expecting the DM to perfectly balance everything and appropriate for the level and run the game that way.
Yeah.
But this system is not, are you choosing for me the way that it should be run? And if not, they'll be like, oh, of course we're not choosing for you. Okay, you've given me extra work to do. Because if I want to run the other way, then everything is worth different XP. Anyways, so that was the thing that kind of like, I kind of went, oh, I've been there, I've done that. This is asinine. Oh, and you have to figure out now one character's 2 levels behind. It happens. They make the recommendation, don't let it happen, but it happens. Now you need to figure out the character level average of the party and award them XP, and there's this weird catch-up rule, and now the amount of XP awarded... Anyways, it's just a different way of running it, and it's actually more work for the DM. That's my change is bad gripe, but I actually have data to back that up, because that's how 3rd edition worked. And the XP calculator for 3rd edition was more complex than the 3.5 Pathfinder calculator. It was more programming in a spreadsheet. Right. So more work for the DM. Obviously, as a DM, is something that's going to bother me a little bit. So that was like my main thing that I wrote down today. What were the couple of the others? There's just weird English with familiar casting. So it says, in order for a familiar to do a thing other than defend itself in a round, you need to spend an action commanding it. But then there's this sub rule that says I can channel a spell through a familiar, and then it can take its 2 actions, move, and touch someone to deliver the spell. What it doesn't say explicitly is whether that still also requires an action to command the familiar, or is the action for commanding the familiar part of channeling the spell into them to go touch them, which should have been clarified, but it wasn't. So there's like a big gaping open question. They should just, for simplicity and convenience sake, list the hardness for items, especially shields, beside the actual item, the typical shield hardness, because I had to look in 3 different places to figure out how a shield breaks when it does it, and like I shouldn't have to go to 3 different places to figure out like a basic use for a shield. What else bothered me today? Something I need to do with the character sheets is add perception DC. because perception DC is what I'm rolling against, as well as saving throw DCs, which is basically an easy thing to calculate. It's whatever their saving throw or perception is plus 10, but it's the armor class or the difficulty rating of other people's stealth checks or other people's grapple or like maneuver checks versus the characters. So it's a thing. It's an armor class. It's when there's an actor trying to do a thing against your character, there's a DC. So saving throws are actually armor classes. They are things that are static when somebody's trying to shove you or grapple you or trip you, or in the case of perception, when they're trying to sneak past you, it's 10 plus your perception modifier or 10 plus your relevant saving throw. So there is this weird concept that came from 4th edition of a static value for your saving throw, which is like an armor class versus the thing. So I need to add that as a bolded thing to the character sheets. That was one thing that I came across today. And then I looked at assist action. The assist action is useless, in my opinion, because if you have to hit an enemy AC in order to give your friend a bonus, why aren't you just hitting? Like previously in previous games, you had to hit AC 10. But now you have to hit the armor class of the enemy in order to give your ally a bonus to hit. Well, chances are both of you hitting is better than a bonus of +1 or +2 to hit. So that one bothered me a little bit. I don't think people are going to actually use that rule, so why have it? Yep. Okay, so you guys have been chatting a little bit. I don't like every power. Yeah, they're not claiming that every encounter has to be balanced, but what it's saying is that the DM has to do work. I normally give warnings. Yeah. As a DM, you're like, okay, there's a CR15 thing that lives nearby. People are going to notice or know that cave is dangerous, so they'll let you know.
So
they also need to calm. Lucas is saying they also need to calm down the level of everything and give a bigger bonus to each rank and everything. I agree that level is it's weighted a little bit too much. In my first read through, we haven't actually played. In my first read through, the reaction from all the players that we've talked to, Adam, Ahmed, and myself, including you, Lucas, is that level counts for too much versus the proficiency. It means that everyone's sort of good at everything, and specialization means less. And I think that's a design decision. I think they said, well, everyone at the table of 4 doesn't always get to participate in the negotiation encounter, so everyone should, and the person who's really good at it should get a slight bonus. Whereas before, it's like, shut the fuck up, barbarian and ranger. It's the bard's time to talk now, and he's the only one that gets to talk because his diplomacy is maxed out and like 10 or 20 higher than what the barbarian's is. So I can see what they're doing. I just think full level is too much, and that might be like my desire for there to be specialists as opposed to everyone being sort of average and only a few buffs. So it's like, how much do we tweak that like all or nothing?
I would suggest is the training level would indicate how much of your level you get to add.
That's an interesting way of doing it.
Like if you're a magic master, it would be your full level. If you're trained, it would be half your level, or
untrained might be
whatever.
0 your level. Right.
Yeah, something like that. Because otherwise, when you're hitting level 10 or 15, the +5 doesn't make a difference when you're rolling D20 plus 10 or 15.
Randomly, how's it going? We were just talking about now that we had like 24 hours to read through the book. I don't think we've grokked 100% of the rules. I think we've grasped maybe about 70% of them. and we're just giving our initial kind of like thoughts on the things that we're concerned about. We'll do a mock combat because I think the best way to learn is by doing. But some of the things that stood out against I did a cursory read, then we got on stream, and then we did the really, to Kenny's point yesterday, the really like boring school exercise of reading the book while trying to figure out how to build characters. And we actually built 2.5 characters. We built the Grizzak and Adam, which is a dwarf druid, and then we built Adam's elf cleric yesterday. And then today we'll do a mock combat because you will learn by doing, and we'll attach some story to it because I think doing things in vacuum is not how we actually play. So there will be a scene that I'm going to run Grizzak through. Like there will be a point to it. You may not know the entire context of the scene, but like the inciting incident of a movie, you don't quite have all the answers yet, right? And you'll recognize what movie I'll be borrowing from pretty quickly if you've read it. All right, we're just discussing the playtest. I'm a little bit behind in the chat, so I'm reading through it. Yeah. The main part of D&D is the party comp. Everyone is good or specialized at something, so everyone shouldn't be good at everything. Yeah, it kind of blurs that line. I'm like cracking voice. Doing Christopher Walken, like I'm doing a weird voice. Not only do I want skills to be meaningful, but I want them to round out how someone plays. Sure, the bard wins in every social event, but when it turns out the fighter should win. Yeah, it turns into a combat. Yeah, I get that. I'm just not. They definitely swung the pendulum to a different degree. Of everyone gets to participate in the same kind of actions in combat. Like right now, I'm having a hard time distinguishing who's going to be better at bull rush. It's not necessarily the fighter in first level. It could be anyone. Well, I guess it's the same in any level. But...
the person with the highest athletic.
Right.
High strength.
And Adam made an assumption that having athletics was your defense against that. No, it's your saving throws.
Yeah, your saving throws.
Your saving throws are your defense against bull rush and tripping. So there's no way to improve that aside from your ability scores or your, at first level anyways, from what I've seen, your ability scores and your class. So, yeah, you're at the mercy. You're at the mercy.
Adam's out tonight, man. He's sent. He's poop. He's fried. He's tired as fuck. Time we're starting tomorrow? He's asking.
Just tell him regular time.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, let's run some combat.
Yeah, let's try to do a combat with the Grizzak.
Let's introduce the world, maybe.
Yeah, let's introduce the world to Grizzak. I'm gonna open up the bestiary because I know what I'm gonna throw at you. And do a quick search. Oh, and it's not clear what terrains are. So it talks about in one of the background like pick a terrain, but then there's no list of what terrains you can pick. And I know we can fall back on our I'm looking for sticky notes. Where are my sticky notes? I know we can fall back on our knowledge of third ed, but the rules should have all the things. So terrains, what are they? Is my question. Okay, so the situation. Tell me a little bit about the concept of Grizzak, Ahmed.
So Grizzak's been perhaps. So he learned he was a normal guy, normal druid, and then he started playing around with too much lightning and maybe got struck by lightning a couple of times, and things got rattled a little bit. So he's just everyone kind of shied away from him, and he likes to just do his own thing. Doesn't really care much for people or animals. He'll help them. He'll ignore them. It's really up in the air what he'll do. He's neither bad or good. He's just there. Sometimes he's on your side. Who knows?
Got it. So the scene,
Who knows what's going to
the
happen?
scene that we're going to start off with Grizzak is that for whatever reason, Grizzak has pissed off a small pack of wolves. He's being chased through the wilderness right now by these wolves, and he knows that they're hostile, and there's too many of them for him to basically stand and fight. Have we picked some spells that Grizzak starts his typical day with?
Yeah. We did. Let's see if those are good. Okay, we've got detect magic. So I've got cantrips and first level. 4 cantrips, 2 first levels. I've got heal and grease. Cantrips. I've got detect magic, electric arc, produce flame, and stabilize. I do have spell points, and at this level I can cast Tempest Surge, which is a spell. I believe it causes a D10 damage with a save or something. I have the page. I'll check it out. But
At this point, one of the wolves is broken ahead of the pack. You don't think that this is the alpha of the pack. You think this might be the beta, who's trying to prove to the alpha how good he is. But the wolf has been trailing you, and doggedly so. You know that the wolves can outsprint you, but luckily enough, you tumbled down a hill, and did not break your legs while doing so, and managed to get a bit ahead of them. You do see a bunch of rocky hills ahead of you. You're kind of in a northern temperate climb. It's kind of like in the fall. It's cool at night. It's a half moonlit night, and you're just running for these hills, trying to get closer to them. And you can hear one of the wolves also slid down this hill, this embankment, and it got fucked up a little bit by some earth that sort of overtook it. You took this opportunity to keep on running, but the wolf has shaken off the earth behind you and is now starting to lope towards you. We'll say that in your couple of rounds of advantage, dwarves move at what?
20.
20? Okay, so I'm going to create a new map.
Okay.
In map tools, I'm just going to use grasslands.
So how far are the other wolves? How far back?
The other wolves are they didn't fall down the embankment. They might be a couple of minutes away, but you can hear them calling out and growling, and they're probably climbing down without doing the fall.
Okay.
They might be a couple minutes away.
But this wolf is on my ass.
But this one wolf fell with you, yeah.
I'll use my wild shape and fly away. Oh wait, I don't have that.
All right, so there's Grizzak, and you're running towards this like rocky hill. And for now, let me just find a angry-looking wolf and stick that down on the map, and we'll figure out. I'll actually share the map with you guys. What the hell, Marty? Share the map with the group.
So we're on conversation, right?
Yeah, let's go back to our. When handle animal goes wrong.
bad.
Well, look at what Grizzak's charisma is. His charisma is 8. So when handle animal, it definitely goes wrong. So I'll give you a moment to just figure out what you're going to do while I add our video to the to XSplit here.
I use that hero point.
You got 2 of them, man. You got 2 of them.
Yeah, let's see how tough these wolves are. Cause
You're gonna turn around, and face it, and see how well you're doing.
yeah, that's an option. Cause why not?
Because it's your first level character, and you don't care if it dies.
Hey.
Oh, so meta. So meta, Ahmed.
Well, I can't outrun it. It's gonna catch up to me, right?
Yeah, it
So
has a
let's-
movement
let's-
of give me a
50 or
knowledge
40?
nature to see if you know how quickly it moves.
Oh god.
I
Okay,
think,
so
I think you have a nature skill, so give me a nature roll.
of 5.
Yep.
So 1d20 plus 5. 8. No fucking clue.
Um,
Faster than me.
Oh, it is not good.
8.
Puppy, woof.
Yeah, you're not sure. It's just a big dog. Wolves are a thing that have always been out there. You haven't had to deal with them directly up. All right, so Grizzak, you're running around and trying to find. Let's focus in on the Grizzak. What is Grizzak carrying and wearing for armor?
Grizzak's actually got some good stuff. So for gear, I didn't give him any magical items or alchemy items because
Well, no, yeah,
he lives in a forest.
You don't have any of that starting gear.
Yeah, he had 120. How much does he have now? I think I have 100. Yeah, 109 silver pieces left. But I bought medium armor, hide, heavy wood shield, and a scimitar.
Okay.
And
So,
my total bulk is 4, and my encumbrance hits at 5. I think it's when I hit 5 I become encumbered. I'm not sure. I didn't.
okay. And is there anything that you haven't bought yet that you want to buy with your remaining money, or is it just you
No,
didn't have
I'm
anything?
No, I didn't think he would only care for these things. Everything else he gets out of the forest.
Well, at this
He
point,
would live.
at this point in time, what you're doing out in the wilderness, why you're alone, and what your goals
That's his Tuesday.
are completely moot at this point, because this wolf pack is fucking angry at you. They're hungry and they're gonna tear you apart.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fight. Yeah.
So are you using your advantage in timing to outrun the wolves towards where the hills are, or are you
Well,
turning
if I
to
get
fight?
to the hills, if I get to the hills, what's the bonus? Well, what's the advantage there?
You might have the advantage of higher ground, and you don't know, you've never been to these hills, you might find a place to hide where the wolves can't quite go, given that they're on 4 legs and you're on 2.
I've never been there.
No.
But there's a wolf that's going to catch up to me anyways. Okay, let's make our way. I'll make my way towards the hills, but like 2 rounds before the wolf gets to me, I'll pull my scimitar out and turn to face him.
Okay, so Grizzak puts his head down and his little dwarven legs are pumping. And this cold sweat in the dying light of the day, your eyes can see darkly. You wish that it was at night, because maybe you would have advantage against these wolves. And oh damn, it's fast. The thing is prowling around.
What the fuck are you eating?
With your check of 8, you realize that the wolf would have caught up to you if it beelined straight towards you, but that's not how wolves attack. It kind of loped off to the side and is prowling around in the underbrush off to the side and looking at you. Maybe it's waiting for its pack mates, maybe not. It does look back a couple of times, but you know it's almost like keeping up with you. You get to the first big rock. And it's a nice flat rock at the edge of the hill. You aren't able to climb very much higher than that rock. We'll just draw a big flat rock here, and you manage to ascend on that part of the rock, and the wolf seems to be coming at you at this point.
How high is the rock?
The rock is a few feet off the ground. It's high enough that you might have advantage if Pathfinder gives you an advantage for rocks. Again, we're gonna have to check everything. Everything. The DM also, there is a hard and fast rule that I wrote that you may gain circumstance bonuses based off of whether the DM wants to or not. And the wolf is coming towards you. It is an angry motherfucker. It's got lots to prove, or maybe is spurred on magically. Or you just really
I thought you all like poop.
as Kenny has suggested, that maybe.
That's what the fucking squirrel told me.
Well, let's see if we could find an angry looking wolf. This one looks pretty angry. It's not a dire wolf. It's just a regular wolf. I won't be that cruel. We'll call it an angry wolf.
Still, trip.
Okay.
Dear.
You can see that it is hostile. It is about 40 feet away from you. I won't start the combat. initially, but you managed to outrun it. You didn't run for 10 minutes because I think hustling for 10 minutes causes the fatigued condition in
we don't want
Pathfinder.
that.
I don't think that is something that happened. So I'll be nice and say that you hustled just enough and just under the fatigue condition as this wolf bears down upon you. Now, because the two of you were running, initiative is normally done with perception in Pathfinder 2.0 or Pathfinder playtest, PTPF playtest. Let's just say playtest. I gotta find a quicker way of doing it. But because you both sides were running, I'm going to say that this is a con-based initiative check.
Okay.
Because you were doing sort of an endurance run. This will be the cost of like the wolf was running and you guys were running through the wilderness, and it was kind of like over a long period of time. So we're going to do like whose con did better. So instead of dex, instead of wisdom, basically you roll your d20 plus your level plus your con modifier. So the wolf is going to roll a d20 plus 2 on his initiative.
So is that a fort save then?
No, it would be the equivalent, but just roll a d20 plus level plus con.
Okay. Excuse me. It's a d20 plus 5. First level character. 14.
Okay, so you are first in initiative. You see the wolf is closing in. It is about 55 feet away from you. You can see it. It does not have any cover or concealment between you and it. It's kind of flat ground. Behind you, there are rocks and hills that go further up. I can draw, if you would like, the hill as
Should
it
have
goes
bought
up.
a bow. Fuck.
Oh, you've got no missile weapons? Oh, well.
Nope.
All right,
Yeah.
so the hill starts to climb as you go like further back across that line, but there's a nice flat rock that you're standing on. Yes, draw the hill. Done. Map tools for the win. All right, and what are you gonna do? Map masterpieces. Go go go.
So he's coming at me, and he's at 55 feet
he's
away.
growling. His hackles are up, and he's pawing in, and is now moving in. And
So I'm gonna cast. Oh God, is produce flame a touch?
yeah. So your action, you get to go. You have 3.
Ooh, electric arc.
You have 3 actions during your turn, and those actions can be a myriad of things. A move is an action. Taking a 5-foot step is an action. Doing a strike is an action. Spells have different components, and each component of the spell, material, verbal, and somatic, each cost an action. Then there are different ways that spells work. So some spells you can perform as few or as many actions as you want and get different boosts. What else could you do? You could pull out a weapon. I think you could just pull out weapons. I don't actually think that's an action anymore. In fact, I'm not seeing that in the list of actions of getting a weapon out.
What would it be called? Well, let's look at the. Oh God, let's look at the index. Okay, weapons. Retrieving? What would it be?
I do not see in the list anything about like retrieving an item from a backpack or anything like that. So I'm going to assume that the weapons that you carry are things like, for now, I'll make a note like taking shit out. I'm going to call these are.
It says the only thing I can find for weapons here is wielding. Everything else looks like it's. I'll look it up. It's 174, 179, and 182.
All right.
See if there's anything about it.
Yeah, and if you guys want to help out with the rules, given that this is the first time that we've gone through these things, this shit is all available on Pathfinder playtest. I will share the link in the screen. It's all the PDFs are available for free, so feel free to download those and help us shift through these things. I think it's gone the way of 5e, where you don't have to spend these actions manipulating stupid things. Although manipulate might be an action. Give me a second. Interact. You use your hand or hands to manipulate an object.
Then yeah, that's there.
You grab an unattended or stored object, open or door, simple action. You may have to attempt a skill check if you're... So
it's an action.
Maybe it's an action. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to not be assy for this. We will figure this out later. You have your weapons out. You've been running for a long period of time. Part of this running and stopping and having a look at what's going on is you could have taken out the things that you want.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to cast electric arc. And actually, let's check. What's the other one called? Flame. Produce flame. Let's see what the range of that is. I think they're all the same. They're all 30 feet. Produce flame. Produce flame. No, that's 7th level. Cantrip. Here we go. What is the range? They're all 30 feet. Let's just start with...
So you could take a move and then cast if you've got enough
right.
actions.
Well, but I need a free hand, right? For semantic casting and verbal casting, I need a free hand.
For somatic casting, you do.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have a weapon out.
So I don't have my sword out. What I do is so when does the round start for me? Am I already on the rock?
Yep, you are already on the rock.
Then I will wait for it. I will delay. And my delay is I'll wait for it to come in, and I will cast my electric arc, and then readied action. Not gonna delay. Readied action is electric arc.
Okay.
And now, do I get an AOO when I'm pulling out?
How many actions or how many components does electric arc have?
It's 2.
2.
Yeah.
Let me look at ready. You prepare to use an action that will occur outside your turn. You choose a single action you can use and designate a trigger. Your turn ends. A single action. Unfortunately, your electric arc has 2 components, so I don't think you can perform an activity as a readied action.
Wait, are there AOOs?
Only fighters from and maybe some monsters get them.
So I can cast if someone's right in front of me. That's so weird. Okay, that's cool. Then I'll just pull out my sword and ready an attack when it gets in range.
Okay, so you pull out your sword, you draw your scimitar. Do you say anything when you pull out your sword and get ready for the beastie to come up to you? Okay, the wolf does not seem to. Its ears go back in response to that, but it does not understand your ranger your druid speak at this point in time, and
Who's speaking?
that's what they get for trying to learn different rules, right? We have to stop and look at the book. It's not something that it is instinctively known since 2001 when 3rd edition came out. Because the rules haven't really changed since then. This is the first time. Ignoring 4th edition and 5th edition, of course, because we're grognards. Okay, the Angry Wolf is going to take its actions. The Angry Wolf is going to take a move action, which I think is called a stride. Let's try to use the terminology of the new game. Stride, I think is the name of the move.
I'm looking at this damage here. Forceful and sweep. This is interesting. Weapons have abilities. Like the scimitar is forceful and sweep. So if I'm already moving with a scimitar, hold on.
Yeah, and you guys are going to teach me as much as I'm going to teach you. So
yeah, so forceful. So this weapon is forceful. This weapon becomes more dangerous when you build up momentum. When you attack with a weapon more than once in your turn, the second adds a circumstance bonus to damage equal to the number of weapon damage dice. Okay, interesting.
Okay,
which I don't have.
So
because I'm looking at the damage, and I might put my sword away and just use spells. Because with my spells, I can attack more than one person.
Okay, this Angry Wolf is going to move forward. It moves at 40. It then is going to take a second action, which is a move forward towards you. It moves like this, though. Like it comes up behind. You're no longer gaining the benefit of being on the rock because it gets on top of it.
Goes up the dam. Oh, fuck.
Your trigger is the creature is within striking range, so you do get to strike at the wolf.
Okay, so striking, attack, first attack roll. Fucking, for 5th edition, I mean. Okay.
4th edition, I mean Pathfinder 2.0.
So a D20, I think this is a D20 plus 3.
Okay, so this is a D20 plus your level. Oh wait, are you trained in the scimitar? Yeah. Yes,
I believe so.
I think the answer is yes.
Yes. It is part of my.
A druid's got training in scimitar, so that's level plus 0, and then it's a melee attack, which means I think you add your strength.
Right. So strength plus level.
Yep.
Plus 0. So plus 3. 1d20 plus 3. Does a 12 hit? What's this thing AC?
the wolf half skitters out of the way. You give it sort of like a haircut along the backside of its hind quarters. Shink! You've got a lot of wolf fur that tufts out, but your sword hits the bottom. That was your readied action, which does not change your order in initiative. So then it's the wolf, and then it's you again. So there isn't this thing that happens in Pathfinder where your initiative changes based off of your readied. Your condition is your turn previously ended because you had a readied, and then your readied happens if the condition happens, and then you go at your same turn again. So the wolf is in your face. You can hear the other wolves in the distance. You hope to Obed High that the terrain has kept these wolves. You don't know how the embankment slopes down and how long before the embankment slopes down. You don't know how far away they are, but at least you can hear them snarling in the distance. This one looks lean and hungry, like maybe their pack has had a hard time eating. Ignore the spikes coming out of its back, but yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't have spikes. It's just a normal angry wolf. And it's going to attack you. It's going to try to bite the Grizzak. It has an attack of +7.
Yeah, I figure. Oh fuck.
AC 18.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that hits. So AC, I've got a +3 shield. Sorry, +3 armor, +2 shield. That's it.
Okay,
and so, 1 dex.
So I don't think your shield actually applies to your armor, because I think you have to ready your shield as an action to make sure that it applies to your to your armor.
Yeah,
I'm about 80% sure that you need to do that. So what is your AC? What is your AC without your shield?
14.
Okay, and the AC, I'm just going to double check because it's the first time.
So 3 from hide armor and 1 from dex.
1 from dex and hide armor. Okay, the wolf savages you. It grabs your leg and is
Wolfie, what the fuck? We're getting along. Come on. Fuck.
Okay, so there is a 1d6 plus 1 and then a chance at knockdown, and I'm gonna have to look up what knockdown means. So it does 2 damage to you as it's biting through the thick hide that you've got wrapped around your shin, and its teeth are starting to get through around the edges. And then it's going to try to knock you down, and I need to do a search as to what knockdown means.
Okay, so angry wolf. So he gets ass handed to him. I hope. Damage. 2. I've got 22 hit points, lads. It's pretty good for a goddamn first level.
Knockdown. Requirements. The monster's last action was a success with an attack that lists knockdown in its damage entry. Okay. Effect. Monster automatically knocks target prone.
Automatically?
Automatically!
Oh my god.
You are auto prone. No roll. The wolf savages your leg and pulls your leg out from under you, and you are now prone. Now, what the fuck does prone mean?
Yeah, that's my that's what the fuck does this prone mean?
Don't worry, Marty looked up conditions earlier, and I think he put a sticky note in here somewhere about conditions. Give me a second. Screening, move, conditions. I'm going to check what condition my condition is in. Prone. I don't think it's as bad as prone as before. You're lying on the ground. You take a -2 circumstance bonus to attack rolls, but a +1 circumstance bonus to AC against range attacks.
Yeah.
You're flat-footed against melee attacks. Okay, what the fuck is flat-footed? Flat-footed is you take a -2 to AC. So your AC is -2, and you're at a -2 to attack. The only move actions you can take while you're prone is crawl and stand.
Now, does stand...
Okay, so the thing knocks you on your feet. Sorry, on your ass is it's having lunch on the shin guard of your hide armor, drooling and savaging everywhere as it's trying to get at you at your delicious dwarven flesh. Little does it know, you probably don't taste very well, because Grizzak is a dirty, dirty, dirty dwarf. All right, Grizzak's turn. What are you doing, bud?
I will stand as an action, and I will use...
Dogs perma knock foes to the ground. 20th level character dies.
I will use my shield. Free action.
No, it's not a free action. It is a specific action, and it is called...
Ready my shield or something?
Yeah, give me a second. It's called Raise a Shield.
Raise a shield.
You position your shield to protect yourself. When you have raised a shield, you gain the listed bonuses to AC and touch AC as a circumstance bonus, and you can use the shield block reaction. Your shield remains raised until the start of your next turn. So as you get one reaction per turn, which means you could potentially block the wolf's next attack with your shield. So Grizzak finally, after readying his attack with his scimitar and then getting launched to the ground, you realize that wolves are pretty damn quick. You raise your wooden shield in the wolf's face, and then what? You've got 2 more out of your 3 actions. That was 1 action.
No, I stood up.
Oh, you're gonna stand? Okay.
I stand. Yeah. No, do I get the AOO out of that, or?
I do not think there are AOOs.
I haven't. Yeah, I don't.
The wolf is not
warrior fighter wolf.
Yeah, the wolf is not a fighter, so I don't think it gets an AOO as you stand. So I'm gonna go state, get rid of the prone position. I'm gonna check stand. You stand up from prone. It would trigger if you had certain abilities, but looking at the wolf's ability, I don't think it has a trigger for anything about from AOOs. I think
auto prone is bullshit, by the way.
Auto prone is a bit of bullshit, but no AOOs while standing makes prone not as bad, and it's only half as.
Wolf attacks first. Everybody else goes after.
It's when there's a pack. You have this distinct feeling that you don't want to be around.
When they come back.
The wolf when it's in a pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. So stowing my weapon is an action, right? Stow, because it's manipulate. It's the same thing. So stand, shield.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out what the what's the I want to cast electric arc. You know what? Grizzak's gonna drop his sword. Use electric arc.
I think Draw, stow, or pick up an item. Changing.
Is
It says changing equipment. Give me a second.
But I'm at free action drop. Boop. Electric arc. Switch that shit again.
If you retrieve a two-handed item with only one hand, you can still need to change your grip before you can wield it. A creature can have a free hand. It does not say anything about the actions required. I'm gonna say it doesn't take an action.
Or can I, as a stand, can I stow it?
Drawing or changing how you're carrying an item usually requires an interaction action, dropping items instead of using drop action, changing equipment. So it does require an action for you to switch things up.
To do that. So I'm just gonna drop the sword and start using electric. I don't know how this works. What do I roll to hit it with a cantrip?
Well, let's look at the spell. So interact. You use your hands to interact and manipulate an object. This may trigger somebody try to stop you from doing it. The wolf has no power to trigger. So basically, you're stowing your scimitar as you're raising your shield. And so that's two actions. You've got one. No
Wait,
shit.
you said stowing. No, stowing. I'll drop my sword if I can't stow it right now. I need to cast something because I want to know. Like right now, it doesn't say. Yeah, they get a reflex save against my attack, but I need to hit the thing. And I think I didn't roll too badly.
I am eating food, and then I am going to shower and go to bed. I'm fucking tired. But
That's fine.
I want to listen, and this is how I'm listening. And I'm going to eat food and listen, and I might interject smart alecky comments, which will sound really dumb. I read a bunch of rules while I was on the plane.
I read a bunch today in my day
Same.
off, and yeah, it is complete. It is a completely different game. This is on the surface, Pathfinder. Under the covers, completely different game.
It's
Adam is Ahmed. Ahmed is Adam.
Oh, fine.
Admed. Admed and Mohammed.
Is it better? Okay, there we go.
All right.
All right. There are possible feat chains. Yeah, my D&D, I have AC and DR on armor shields. It's very easy for, say, a tower shield to have lots of DR. Are you taking cover? Yeah, there are some weird rules of cover. So standing behind cover is not the same as taking cover.
Yeah.
Did you see the states? The
Which
hiding
states?
states?
Yeah. Yeah. There's
There's aware and there's concealed, aware.
Seen, sensed. No, concealed, sensed, unaware, or something like that. There are four states to sensing a creature, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Grizzak was running through the wilderness. There's a pack of wolves on his heels, and one of the wolves and him tumbled down this side embankment. The wolf got covered by a bunch of earth, so Grizzak kept on running towards these hills, where these rocky hills are that he thought he might be able to lose the wolf pack in. The wolf that uncovered itself eventually caught up to Grizzak, and he knows that if he doesn't dispatch this wolf quickly, that the pack will catch up to him and tear him to pieces. As somebody in chat already said, this is what happens when handle animal goes wrong. The 8 charisma druid may have pissed off this pack of wolves for some reason. And I heard Ahmed say, I thought you liked poo. So dirty,
Here's my peace offering.
dirty Grizzak has already been tripped. So this round, what did you do? You had a shield action where you raised your shield.
Adam needs to hear this. So I missed. So I was on a rock and I went to swing when the wolf came in. Right, missed, and the thing attacked me. It hit and it auto trips. No save.
Dropping an item held is an action.
Dropping an item held is an action.
Dude, if you have a two-handed sword, having one hand come off the sword to cast a spell is an action.
So Grizzak raised his shield. That was the first thing, and now
That's
you got a scimitar in your hand. What are you doing?
So what I'm trying to figure out
Stowing it is
is
an action. Dropping it to the ground is an action.
One versus.
And then then you stood up. So
It's cool. It's cool.
You went ready to shield. You stood up. And
Stood
you've got
up.
one action
so that's
left.
two
You got
actions.
a
I've got an
sword in
action
your
left.
hand.
So I can attack with my scimitar or stow it and start casting. What I'm trying to figure out is
So you
I
can
know what my
stow it and
bonus
your
is to
turn
hit
ends.
with a sword. Yeah, I know. I know what to do. I know. So I know what my bonus when I'm attacking with a scimitar. I want to know what I'm hitting against when I'm attacking with my spell. Does he just get a save? Because if that's the case,
you are trained in your primal spell casting, which means you add your level and there's no penalty. And then it depends on what type of spell you're casting, whether it's a touch or a ranged attack, on which ability score you're going to use. Touch attacks also have the finesse weapon quality, which means you get to add your strength or your dex, whichever is higher. So that is as much as I've learned, and you got it all.
Yeah,
I sound authoritative, but it's
range,
like I
so I'm using
stuck that in my head right before the test, and we're taking the test right now. I got through many years of school doing that, cramming it all in a couple hours before.
Can I take
their knowledge?
So hold on.
Get
Can
in
I
there,
take an
Short.
action to increase my shield bonus? Like, can I take cover behind the shield?
I don't think there is a defensive, like, I go defensive action.
I didn't see that anywhere.
I'm going to glance at the actions, but I know also another feedback is all the actions should be listed under actions. They shouldn't be buried under skills. I am not seeing the take defensive. I'm going to glance at acrobatics and athletics because there are a lot of stuff under those skills. Acrobatics allow you to... Nope. Nothing there. Athletics allows you to grapple, open, climb, jump.
I'm guessing it's actually
Shove,
a
swim.
fighter feat path or fighter power path.
Or maybe they redid dodge somehow, or dodge.
Paladins get a bunch of AC stuff.
You're all dodgy. No, you've done pretty good for defense for what your character is built for by raising your big ass wooden shield in the dog's face.
Okay.
One-handed weapons are the ultimate in this game.
The what? Sorry.
One-handed weapons are like because there's no bonus to a two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
There's just penalties. Like a one-handed weapon is like weapon shield, weapon.
There's
spell.
no reason for me to actually have this sword.
Yes, there is.
I think my spells would
Kick
do
is really
better.
bad too. Don't punch. Punch is bad.
My spells would do better.
You're like, want to cast a spell, but you got a sword in your hand. You're
Let's
like,
smack it with a sword. Let's smack it with a sword.
All right, so the scimitar comes flying in. I actually don't know what a scimitar does, so I'm going to try to look up scimitar.
It does a d6.
No, but all the qualities of a
Ooh, 19. I bet that
19. That
wolf.
slices into the doggy's side. It yelps when you hit it.
I won't make you my hide.
And
coat.
the scimitar does 1d6 slashing.
+2?
It is a forceful and sweep weapon. I don't know what
So-
forceful and sweep means.
The
Forceful-
weapons have unique properties and a bunch of them.
Yep.
So the weapon selection is not based off of damage dice. It's based off of all those little thingies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Forceful is if I'm attacking more. So wait, yeah, there was a good question in this chat. Can I attack more than once?
Yes.
3 times in a round.
When you attack,
First level can attack 3 times in a round?
You have 3 actions: attack, attack, attack.
Oh my god.
when you attack with more than once in a
minus
turn,
10
the
on the
second
third one.
attack adds a circumstance bonus. Okay, so that's what forceful means. And then, but this is the last action of your turn. And sweep. Let's look at what sweep means.
Tripping?
The weapon makes a sweeping or spinning attacks, making it easier to attack multiple enemies. When you attack with this weapon, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to your attack roll if you've already attempted an attack this turn against a creature other than the target of this attack. So you gain a bonus if you're going to attack multiple people. So swiping into the next guy.
Do you know what's the best? When you have a whole bunch of tiny bullshit bonuses that are super conditional and like impossible to remember.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of those.
That's what I'm.
So you should write these down because scimitar is your thing.
Yeah.
All right. So you strike
later.
the creature. You get to add d6 plus your strength.
6 damage. Suck
6
on
damage.
that.
Okay. The you carve into the wolf this time. It yelps at the attack, but does not stop fighting. And to use and borrow a rule from 4th edition that we seem to... The only thing that we pulled out of 4th edition, aside from minions, which I've never actually implemented, but I like the idea of sometimes, is bloodied. It is not bloodied from your attack. It yelps, but continues to bite and growl, and you can hear the wolves coming closer, his pack mates.
Do monsters get ancestry hit dice? Or hit points?
It appears so, because the monster entry does not list a hit die. I don't know how it got its hit points. Maybe I do. Maybe it's 2 hit dice and max hit points? I don't know.
16 plus double its con mod?
I will paste what I know about wolf
because they're just ability.
After the fight, because Grizzak rolled an 8 on knowledge nature, on the nature skill roll to see if he knew anything about wolves, and he pissed them off. So the wolf is going to counterattack. And as we learned before, if it hits,
Please fucking miss.
If it hits, it auto knocks you down. AC 17.
Fucking knockdown. Has a +7 to hit.
Okay, it grabs a hold of your boot this time missing your boot and missing your armor and digging into your ankle on the same leg for 5 damage, and Grizzak goes tumbling to the flat of this rock again, hitting his head against the rock, almost like nature itself is giving you a wake-up call.
And fuck you!
Now, you had a readied action against this. You could use your reaction with your shield to block this attack. I'm reminding you because we don't know what the actions are. I would expect you to go, Marty, and be all kind of like uppity, like, I've got my shield.
I'm gonna put this. Write this shit. Edit.
You had spent an entire action going, raise my shield, bitch. So were you including your AC with your shield raised when I said that there was a hit?
Oh, 1 sec. My AC is. Okay, so my AC is 10 plus Dex, so 12 plus my shield, which is
armor?
3 and 2. So 12 plus. So I have my AC 17, which
which hits exactly. So the trigger is when you have your shield raised, which you do. You take damage from a physical attack, which you did. You snap your shield into place to deflect a blow. Your shield prevents you from taking an amount of damage up to its hardness. The shield takes this damage instead, possibly becoming dented or broken. So the shield's hardness, I know from reading, and this is one of those like weird chained things you need to read 3 different pages. Your shield, please mark it down, is a thin wooden shield, which means it has a hardness of 3. So you take 2 damage, which I believe means...
This is a heavy wooden shield.
Yes, the hardness of wood depends on the thinness of the wood.
Hardness of how much?
3.
Doogie.
So you take 3...
Oh, sorry. You finished adjudicating it, then I will comment.
Yeah, you did. Then we'll get comments from the Peanut Gallery.
Mr. Peanut.
Right. Did I mark down? No, I fucking didn't. Okay, so put down hardness of your shield is 3. Yeah. And then see page 175 for hardness rules. Now I want to know whether it's dented or not. If an item takes damage equal to or exceeding its hardness, the item takes a dent. So when you said shield block, you snap your shield in place. Your shield prevents you from taking the amount of damage up to its hardness. So I think your shield is dented.
How much damage did I take? I didn't see the number.
5 minus 3, which would be 2 damage.
So up.
Grizzak took 2 damage. Your shield took 3.
Oh, okay. 5 damage, 3 to the shield. Got it.
And the way that you keep track of shield damage is not hit points, it's dents. Your shield has 1 dent.
Okay, let me put that in.
Which means that the wolf, instead of
dent.
taking a big chunk out of you, took a big chunk out of your shield, and your shield is not broken.
But it's dent. It has 1 dent.
It has 1 dent. When it gets 2 dents, it becomes broken. And has all the penalties of like having it on and none of the bonuses, and I think once it takes 3 dents, it's destroyed.
Okay.
So one-handed weapon with no shield is the ultimate in this bullshit. Sorry. So the auto trip on the wolves is not as overpowered as it appears because there's no AOOs for standing up. It's like it's not the auto AOO or penalty AC thing that it is in the other systems.
It takes one of your
It
actions.
takes an action to stand up, but it's not an AOO.
The wolf is savaging your shield as you're trying to stay alive, and then the wolf attacked. The wolf is going to attack again because it attacks at a -5, right? -5?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's -5 unless it's got a finesse weapon or agile weapon. I
No,
think.
it's just melee jawing you to death. It just
And unless it has something that says 2 attacks for its attack, like attack takes 2 actions. That would be the other way.
Got it. So
Oh,
AC 13, you have no more reactions left, so you can't like interject with your shield, but your shield does provide AC, so it misses, and then it's third.
No. I'm prone. I'm prone now.
So you're at a -2.
I'm a minus. Yeah, we gotta look at what the fuck prone means again. Okay, so it's -2 right off the bat, and then there's
Prone means
and then
flat-footed, and flat-footed means -2, I believe.
Fuck.
You're unable to focus your full attention on defense. You're -2 to AC.
-2 to AC. So, but I still have my shield up.
Yep. So you have your shield bonus to
So
your AC.
7, so 15.
Okay, so the thing missed, and it's going to take its third attack because it didn't critically miss, which is missing by 10, and it's going to
Yeah, no. Someone was just asking about moves and manipulation causes AOs.
Okay, so it rolled a 1 on its attack.
It rolled a 4.
Rolled a
and it got
4.
total of 1.
Total of 1.
It got a total of 1.
It missed by 10.
It missed by 10, which means it critically missed on its third attack. It's still nipping at your feet, and you're pulling your boots back, and you got your shield up. And I actually don't know what a critical miss means, so let's look at critical miss. What does it mean? The fuck does it mean?
I think it goes
For an attack roll, I don't know. For a skill check, what I read was like the DM adjudicates it to be worse than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah, 292 is the page for critical miss. Let's see what the fuck this means. If your result is less than the DC, you fail. You fail to roll a 1, d20, call it a natural 1. You fail a result equals less than -10, you critically fail.
Oh, this is interesting. I was thinking you can cast 3 times in 2 turns if you have 2 actions to cast. Because I can delay one to the next
And then if
one.
there's anything that could remove some of the like somatic components from the spells, then you could start busting off.
Okay, alright. It tells us that a critical fail has happened, but what does a critical fail on an attack action actually mean?
On this computer, I am now going to go and get the bookie thing because it's not.
So this is a strike action. Critical success. Why doesn't it list critical fail?
Basic actions: crawl, attack, assist, no, seek, strike, strike, strike. Critical success: you critically succeed at an. Nope, critical failure, assholes. Oh fuck.
Okay, alright. It tells us that a critical fail has happened, but what does a critical fail on an attack action actually mean? On this computer, I am now going to go and get the bookie thing. So this is a strike action. Critical success. You critically succeed at an. No, critical failure, assholes. Oh fuck.
useless. Okay.
What does it mean?
It says
I've now looked in two places.
this is considered a strike, right?
Yes.
There's only success and critical success. I don't see failure here.
Is it just automatically miss? There's no like it herps the derp and
There's no critical failure or critical failure listed here.
It feels like someone's gonna step in and create this like magical like deck of 52 things that might happen on critical failures, and is an optional rule on critical failure deck, or a random chart because we like charts.
We're playing without playing vanilla, so nothing happens.
Yeah, I don't think anything happened. It's still chewing on your shield. The wolf backed up like a foot or two as it's coughing up some of the bits of the shield it has in its mouth, and you thought that maybe a mouthful may have made it run away, but it doesn't, and it growls at you. Grizzak, what are you doing?
Okay, so question. I can use my I have a what's it called? A holy symbol, right?
You have Holly, which you described as being rolled in poo.
That's right.
Here, eat something. Eat some poo.
It might be his own too. You don't know.
Let's look up primal spellcasting and what you actually need to do.
Because if I can bust more spells,
I think you need to hold it, or there's powers that let you like etch it onto your breastplate and stuff.
Yeah, I think you need a free hand, but let's just double check primal spellcasting.
What don't you happen?
There's a section at the beginning of spellcasting that describes this. Given that this is the first time that we're going through it, why don't we have a look? See. Spellcasting actions. What spell are you trying to cast?
so there's a couple of spells. I was thinking of Grease. I was thinking of Tempest Surge.
Okay.
And yeah,
You get grease as a druid?
yes. Who the fuck knew? I get acid splash as a cantrip.
Somatic. If you're a druid casting a spell from the primal tradition while holding a primal focus, such as a holly and mistletoe, you don't have to have a free action to take this action. You can touch the target with the focus instead. But it sounds like you're still holding something. Verbal is verbal, and there are no... for material, if you're a druid casting a spell with a primal condition and holding a focus, you can replace any material component the spell requires by using the primal focus of the as instead. In this case, you don't have to have a free hand to take this action. Interesting. Do you still need a hand to hold the mistletoe? It sounds like you need a hand to do the thing. So yeah, holding on to your mistletoe, your holly and mistletoe,
Is still...
frees up your hand, your other hand for other things.
So is it one move? Do you know what I mean? Because casting takes 2 moves.
You need it in
Or
hand.
2 actions. So that's 1. And then verbal's another.
As part of the material casting, you can take out your thing. So
Okay, I'm on the ground.
yep.
I'm gonna drop my... Do I need to drop my shield as well?
No.
No, my sword. I'll drop my sword. That's
Okay.
Or stow my sword. Sorry, stow my sword.
So you manipulate your sword, you stow it. That's a interaction action that takes 1 action. You've got 2 left.
I've got 2. I'm gonna cast my my boomy spell, Tempest Surge. That's gonna be one of my spell points.
Okay.
Tempest Surge.
The wolf is not AOing you because that's not a thing the wolf can do.
Yep.
Tempest Surge is a somatic casting and a verbal casting. So as part of the somatic casting, you start doing the hand motions for the spell. You gesture and move and manipulate the force of the spell.
Yeah.
And then you are reaching out to touch the target, as well as doing a verbal component.
It's
So
ranged.
so those are two. It is ranged. Okay, you don't need to touch it. So you surround the foe with a swirling storm of violent winds, roiling clouds, and crackling lightning. The wolf goes "Meow!" as this is happening. It's totally unexpected. The storm deals a 1d10 electricity damage to the target, depending on their reflex saving throw. Success is half damage. Critical success is no damage. All right, let's see what the wolfie's got for reflex save. What is the DC of your spell?
Critical
Fuck, I don't
success
know.
is evasion.
Is the DC of his spell just his class DC?
Yeah. I think so. Here. It should say under.
Hold on. Storm. Druid attacks perception. Yeah, no, I don't care about that.
Oh, this is
I believe
definitely
the answer to this question.
Yeah. I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But don't I get to add my wisdom?
Yeah, I think it's
Which-
10 plus
which is-
your
which is-
level
it-
plus your wisdom,
Yeah.
which means we'll never be able to go back to Pathfinder 1 and calculate DCs ever the same way again.
Well, no, this way Alma does it anyway.
No.
All right, this thing's will save is +5. It's wily. It's a wily wolfy coyote.
What am I rolling?
You're not rolling anything.
Oh, it's a fucking thing.
It makes a saving throw, so I believe it takes half damage from your
From my 1d10.
1d10.
There's no bonus to the d10? Like my wisdom?
Nope.
Fuck. Ugh, it takes nothing.
No, it takes 1 point of damage.
It's minimum. Half.
It
One is one.
It did this like crazy jump out of the way as these roiling clouds tried to wrap around it. The
I hate
wolf
this fucking
did
wolf.
not understand where these clouds came from, although they receded pretty quickly. I'm gonna make the stupid wolf act perhaps differently. So you stowed a weapon. You're still lying on the ground, and basically on the flat of your back, you cast this spell at the wolf and shocked its hindquarters. I'm going to make a roll to see what the wolf does this turn. This surprised it. It wasn't expecting a stroke of lightning. It is going to back off. As a 5-foot step action, it backs off from you, and then it does a move action. It kind of like runs around like a rock and then comes back at you, almost like coming at you from a different angle. It thinks maybe that it can get you again.
So the 5-foot step action isn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It is called a step.
And you have to step before you can stride.
No.
Or
No, it causes no AOs.
but
Unlike most other movements, stepping doesn't trigger reactions such as an AOO based off of move actions. You
Okay,
can't step
so
into
it doesn't
difficult
know that-
terrain. It doesn't know. It's acting. It's like acting like a dumb animal. It kind of
okay.
it kind of went yelp from the lightning bolt thing that tried to wrap it around, and then it goes running away. But then it realizes that it's still hungry and that it's got the taste of your blood in its mouth and comes running right back around. So it is still hostile, although it's not next to you.
What's the DC for?
Grizzak's still on the ground. He's like,
What the fuck?
how's your acid sploosh?
I'm gonna do fire after this.
All right. Don't critical fumble. You just taste like barbecue.
Fuck!
all right, what's Grizzak doing? He's like, frack! He's lying on his back. The wolf's coming back. You can hear the pack mates of the wolf, like, you can hear them getting closer. What are you doing?
Fire.
What are you doing?
Produce flame.
Produce
Actually,
flame.
wait a minute. Grease. Put him in difficult terrain. Get up and run. Yeah, let's actually do. How far are the is the mountains or the hilly stone?
You're next to the hill. The wolf is running around on the hill.
No, but isn't there an area that I could possibly hide on, or?
You could do a seek action to scan the area for a cave entrance.
the whole. I know it's all like learned behaviors and stuff, but I find like the action names, just my brain is going
What?
like
Yeah,
what the fuck are you like?
Yeah, I
You
know,
could
dude.
scan the area and look for a cave or something to hide in. You're on the edge of it. You have not scouted this place out. The second you got here, you were engaged with a wolf.
Okay, I'm gonna get up.
Okay, so that's an action.
And,
You stand
and
from
where's
prone.
the top of the hill?
It's a big hilly, rocky area. It's way up there.
Okay, I'm gonna step her up.
Okay, so you're going to take a stride, which is moving
Yeah.
your move.
Oops, 20 feet. Yeah, that's right. 20 feet here.
Okay, the wolf is now following your movement. It looks like it's turning towards you.
Wait, I stood up and moved. Oh, right. Right, because I already stowed my weapon. Okay, I'm gonna start casting now.
Okay, casting is an activity, and which spell are you casting?
It'll be produce flame.
How many actions does it have?
It takes 2.
Okay, so you can't do it.
But wouldn't it stagger to next round?
I don't think that's how it works.
Okay.
I'm going to make a call that it doesn't. I will look up. I'll add that to list of taking shit out, and then activities across multiple rounds.
I think you can. Because I read that before we.
I want to say that I think I read a thing saying that as long as you do it continuously. Give me a second. I will check. But you list rule 0.
The way that I read that was continuously in the
Special
same
battles.
round. I don't know how spellcasting works across 2 rounds.
Flanking.
Okay.
Terrain.
All right.
Falling movement. Special tactics. Raise shield. Nope.
Yeah, it
Then
says-
if I can't use my
The
spells,
key word we're looking for it's an activity.
So it's activities. So activities are special tasks that require you to spend 1 or more actions. They usually take 2 actions and let you do more than a single action would. All tasks that are longer than a turn are activities. Spellcasting is the most common, as most spells require you to spend several actions in a sequence to create their effect. So I think as long as you go verbal, somatic, fas, ro, da.
Yeah.
I just because it doesn't say anything about like this turn. The word turn
So
doesn't.
there is a thing where if you take your level in damage, your spell is interrupted.
Interrupted. So
And lost.
So you'd be this would be casting across turns. I think
Okay.
you're going fa.
Yeah. It's likely gonna hit me. So my shield is down, which means my AC is 15. Getting 2 spells off at once, that'd be kind of cool. Let's try that.
Wasn't he warned?
Huh?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, he was.
wasn't he? Wasn't there a warning?
There was a warning.
Just we don't need this. You can do a different kind of command if you read between the lines.
I know.
I think the word is Bond. James Bond. All right, fine. I will say that because we don't know the rules very well, you can do that, but there's a chance that if you take 1 damage, your spell activity is disrupted.
Yep. I know.
Okay, so
if it does work, it will be nice. If it
Okay.
doesn't work, which likely will happen, it's okay.
what spell were you casting? Produce flame,
Bruce Flame,
and then what components does the spell have?
same semantic and verbal.
Somatic and verbal. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an attack roll part of produce flame or not?
It's ranged. I doesn't say. It just says it's 30 feet. I
It would
think
say
it's
touch. what's it
No.
called? Produce
Make a
flame?
melee or ranged touch attack. So what this means is
Make a melee
when
or-
you
yeah,
complete the somatic portion of it, that is when you actually make the attack roll. So you've started the verbal component and completed the
And
verbal
next-
component. You have not completed the somatic component.
Right.
Because otherwise you'd be going at the
somatic-
creature.
Yeah.
Okay, the wolf kind of sneezes at like the lightning or the ozone in the air after you cast your lightning spell. Like it's still fucked up from that 1 point of damage. It may not be used to having casters cast spells at it, but it is going to take a single move action into threatened range. You're running up a hill, so it chose kind of like difficult terrain for the first bit of it, but it has enough movement to get through the difficult terrain. Grizzak, after watching it move, you know that you will not be able to outrun this thing based on just terrain alone, like just a steep hill alone. It is
I need a gauge.
lean and hungry, and it is coming up towards you, and it's going to attack.
Yep.
Rolls a nat 1, which means automatic miss. So the thing gets a mouthful of your boot as you're kicking at it while you're trying to get off your spell. And now it is your turn, Grizzak.
So I'll do a. It's right there. So let's do melee touches.
Brenda.
Okay, melee touch you can use your strength or your dex, depending on whichever you want. I think for Grizzak it's strength.
Yeah, strength. Let's see how this goes.
Okay. You finish the verbal, the somatic casting. Your hand lights a fire. The wolf kind of goes back on its haunches as your hand is lit with fire, and then you reach out and you touch it. You grab it by the side of its face. The fire goes into it. It yelps. On a success, you deal 1d4 points of fire damage.
Shit, I should have used another one. Maybe it's afraid of fire. 2 damage. Wait, is there a reflex save?
Nope.
No, there is. So that is the difference between that one.
Okay, so that was your.
And there's another one.
That was your one action. What else are you doing?
The other action is
Which technically you could produce flame again, which is really funny.
yes, yes, yeah. That's what I was saying. In 3 rounds you could, in 2 rounds, sorry, you could cast 3 times. So if you have a way of removing one of the actions, then you can cast like much faster. 1 sec. I'm looking at electric arc.
Yeah, the wolf learned his lesson last time. He could have attacked one more time, but he didn't hit, so he's just being very selective with his attacks.
The DM's being nice and doesn't want to kill a character right off the bat. Thanks, Marty. Appreciate that.
We're learning, man. We're learning. Of course, I can always adjust the amount of XP you're going to get at the end of this encounter based off of how much I felt you were challenged. So, yeah, I'm all good.
Let's.
I don't.
I'm all good with this.
As a high achiever, I don't know if I like this XP distribution.
Right.
They call me this XP distribution.
I get to choose.
The
I'm the
DC
DM.
of my spell is.
But I need 1,000. I'm like, yeah, well, it could
The
be
DC
3,
of my
it could be
spell
40.
is 5. The reflex save of my spell is 5, right?
The reflex save on your spell would be your class power DC. 10 plus your level plus your wisdom. 15.
So 15.
That's how I understand it from my first read through. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was trying to see where it said that, like because it is really hidden.
So yeah, DC is 10 plus
Because primal
level
spellcasting is the class power.
plus.
Unless it's something like plus spell level, I just don't see it anywhere. So
15 then.
I'll
I'll cast electric arc on it. So it's a D6 damage and it has a reflex save.
okay, so
There's no melee attack. There's no
electric
attack.
arc. There's a somatic casting and verbal casting component. The wolf, it doesn't understand these things, and it just sees you kind of going like this. Again, there's an ozone smell. It growls like it understands the blue glow from your electric arc. You target one or two creatures. It is only one creature. Each target must attempt a reflex save.
Yep.
Okay, the wolf's going to jump out of the way as it gets zapped by your bug zapper. 18
Fuck you.
is a success. It takes half damage.
3.
It still takes 3. Now the wolf is bloodied. It prowls around a little bit. It does some stupid movement, which would have provoked an AOO if you. It tries to get away from the ozone smell and then nips at you again. As your shield is low and not raised to defend. Savage with a critical hit. Is there a confirmation roll with crits, or is it just a crit?
It's just whack, double damage.
It's just a crit.
Just double.
Whack,
Just crit.
whack, double damage.
Double damage, man. Double damage. All right, this is where we learn where Grizzak doesn't have a shield because we're going to take off his hand.
Chomp.
Trump. So first, you take damage, so you're auto-prone.
Yep.
And the double damage is
God damn it.
2d6 plus 2. 9 damage from the savaging from the wolf.
9 damage. That's 13.
Just the relentless jaws clamping down on that same leg.
I'm gonna
And then
wear
it
this
jumps
wolf.
up and bites a bit of your skin under your underarm where you're trying to raise your shield. Like it's right in there, going for the soft bits.
All right, shitface. Let's do this.
Who's shitface?
The wolf. The wolf is just doing its thing. So it just does its one attack.
Okay, let's 1d6 again.
What are you doing?
Electric
Electric Boogaloo.
electric arc.
Okay, Grizzak's
Electric arc.
trying to shock it with its
Electric arc. So it's interesting. Electric arc is basically auto damage. If you say, unless you critical save.
Yep.
I think
So
that's no damage.
the wolf saving throw is pretty good. So you're picking on its really good saving throw. 17.
It gets away, and it takes 1 damage.
Okay, you zap it. It is not relenting because it thinks it can win at this point.
Getting up now would not be smart.
So you did your somatic
actually,
and
no,
verbal
getting
component
up-
is. The storm gods are not on your side. It must be it must be. They
Either
weren't
using the shield.
They weren't happy when the last time lightning hit you. Like you're being punished for some reason.
Raise my shield.
Okay, you raise your shield. It already has a dent in it, but
Yep.
who cares? It's a wooden shield.
Don't care.
How many silver pieces did it cost you to buy your wooden shield?
Doesn't matter. Fuck, next.
Okay, so Grizzak casts his spell and raises his shield.
Uh-oh.
The wolf comes in as he wants meat for his pack mates. AC 20 on the attack.
It's
How many points you got left?
I have 22. And I have how much damage? 13 damage. So 8 damage.
Okay,
hit
the
points
wolf
left?
nips you for 4. Are you taking a reaction?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1.
Your shield is now broken. You take 1 damage, the shield takes the other 3.
So it's
Broken
isn't it damage? It has 2 dents, right?
Yeah, 2 dents is broken, which means that it's useless as a shield, but it still has all the penalties of being on your arm.
Okay.
Which doesn't impact me.
On page 296 in the second activities section in the book, it actually says that all the activities must take place in one turn.
Got
That's
it.
the only time they use the term turn. But they describe a turn and say that all activities must take place in a turn.
Got
For
it.
a spell. So
Got
you
it.
can't do what I was doing.
No, for any activity. So there's no activities that go across multiple turns.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I let
So-
you get
so
away with
can't
it.
do what I
but
did.
You can't do what you did. Got
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
And then your broken shield. Broken means something different. Broken means it's repairable, but it's like a couple of planks holding on to the strap that you strap to your arm, and it gives you no shield bonus. You gain no benefit from it, and all the penalties of it. So you've got something stuck on your arm that will take a action to get off.
Right. So.
And then you took 1 damage.
Yeah, I counted that. So Grizzak's going to use one of his.
The DC is
More
10
powerful.
plus your ability score plus your character level.
Same as what we figured out before. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it doesn't- yeah.
and so Grizzak's going to do the same as before. I'm going to not the same spell. We're going to use the Tempest Surge because I might not survive this.
Okay. So you call upon the Tempest to create a cloud of horrible around the Angry Wolf. The Angry Wolf doesn't have anything to stop you from doing this.
Tempest Surge. Give me a second. I'm going to make sure. Because spells are either you do an attack and they take the damage, or you don't do an attack and they get reflex saves. That's what it looks like.
And this is a reflex save versus 1d10 damage.
Yeah, which is better. Let's use this.
Failure is full damage and the target is sluggish for 1 round. Is sluggish 1 for 1 round? I guess there are
Levels.
levels of sluggishness. Sluggish.
Well, obviously,
Critical
Sluggish-
failure
Sluggish
is
2
2.
is you lose 2 actions, and Sluggish 3 is you have no actions. That'd be my guess.
Or
So
minus
do your
his
reflex
speed.
save.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you conjure this cloud, this swirling cloud of violent storms around the thing. It fails.
Fuck you fucking wolf.
Roll your d10.
4 damage.
4
And
damage.
sluggish.
Injures the wolf. And then it is automatically sluggish 1. And let's see what condition my condition is in.
It's sluggish. So how did the sluggish come in? Sorry, I was.
Because
the
I
Tempest
used the
Surge.
spell.
Okay.
For 1 round.
And I can
Slow-
only get
sluggish.
up after this.
Your movements become clumsy and inexact. Sluggish always includes a value. When you're sluggish, you take a conditional penalty to AC, attack rolls, dexterity-based checks, and reflex saves equal to the condition of the value. Or the condition's value.
What's the duration?
1 round, which means
Oh, for 1 round. Okay.
until
for
the
the next round, it has
end
-1.
of its next turn.
Mm-hmm.
If you get sluggish enough, you transform into an actual slug. Just as long as you're not a giant slug, because that acid damage, baby, that acid damage. There is this whole when things go away. You didn't create the effect, so at the end of your turn, once you've spent all 3 of your actions, your turn is over and the next creatures begin. When do the bad things happen to you? Give me a second. Once you've done all the things you want to with your turn ends. Take the following steps to resolve anything else. Any effects that last until the end of your turn. If you have persistent damage condition, you take this damage at this point. So I think when it says 1 round, it's
full 3 round, like 3 actions.
till the end of the creature's turn.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
If it went before you, then it's the next round, and then okay, all right. So the angry wolf is definitely sluggish. This is where I would love to know where its attack. Oh, I guess I do know. No, I don't know. It says melee jaws 7. I have no idea whether it's based off of its strength or its dex.
Grizzak stands up.
Oh, is
I had
that your
one more
last
action.
action? Okay.
Yep.
You got this broken shield on your hand.
Can I pull out my scimitar? But that's useless because I can't.
Well, you could take next turn. You could take an action to take the broken shield off your hand,
And then take the.
and I would assume Marty would let you drop that as part of taking it off, instead of taking it off and now it's in your hand, and then you take another action to put it down on the ground.
Yeah, you can shake off the bullshit.
Well, I was reading the thing, and it's like if you wanna do if you're going like this with a baseball bat, that's 1 action, 2 action, 3 action, 4 action to tap the baseball bat on your hand.
All right. Is there a chance of dying from shame? Yes.
Grizzak's there.
What the fuck? I'm a druid. God damn it.
All right. So this is interesting. It says melee jaws, and I don't know whether it's strength or dex it's adding to its jaws. So I don't know whether or not to subtract for sluggishness, whether it subtracts 1. I'm going to assume it does, but this is just sort of a gripe on...
When you don't write down all the shit.
I
what are the
don't know
stats?
how it's supposed to go, right?
So sluggishness, this is a dex penalty?
It's a penalty to AC. It's a penalty to... Is it dex? Give me a second. Slug. Turning into slugs. Minus conditional penalty to AC, attack roll, all attack rolls, dexterity-based checks, and reflex saves. Okay, so I guess it doesn't matter. In my mind, it felt dex, but all right. So it's at a -1 to hit. It gets a natural 1.
Nothing happens.
I don't think anything happens, so it's going to keep on rolling at a -5 for its second attack. AC 14.
Misses.
Okay.
I have level, dex, and 3 armor, so 15.
And its third attack, AC -1.
So it's a critical fumble as well, but that doesn't do nothing.
They got to do something. Like, does your attack routine end?
No,
or...
they don't. So they don't describe it. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Let me look up multiple attacks. Maybe it's in there. So, because I think it's left up to the DM. Like they just haven't filled that in.
Okay.
Because what would stop you from always just doing bowling for 20s on your last attacks?
Nothing.
Bad stuff happening when you do.
Right.
Yeah.
So Grizzak's gonna do his Tempest thing
So
again.
yeah, I'm gonna write that down as a bit of feedback. So, what is bad about
What is critical fumble?
Attack. What is the recommended critical fumble on a melee attack?
on a strike? Yep.
Strike.
Why aren't you? Why isn't everyone just fucking swinging for the fences? And maybe they are, and that's the game. I don't know.
Yay!
But the wolf
Hey,
did
back-
that. There might be a rule in here that says natural attacks they only get 1, they don't get multiple attacks. But I have not
I
read.
haven't said that. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I didn't even download the.
Grizzak should have gotten an
The
animal
monster
companion.
manual.
Horse.
Dude, come on, shitster.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what to search for. I'm getting a bunch of natural hazards, but
I'm in a section that's weird, man. In this form. Oh. What's this called? Nature Incarnate. You turn into a gargantuan green man. Oh. There's a spell to become a kaiju.
green giant.
Kaiju?
Green giant.
Kaiju.
Did you breathe blue lasers out of your mouth?
Okay, so the creature missed you 3 times. It's hopping up and biting, tearing at your shitty broken shield. No, it doesn't tear the shield off of you. And,
Tempest Surge.
You're gonna Tempest Surge again. This is the 4th time you've done it, or the 3rd time?
Third time. This is the
Okay.
third time. It's
Calling upon Obad High and your power over the storms. Grizzak, of course, has been struck by lightning 17 times, so a little bit of that is where it's coming from. Oh, it gets a reflex save?
Yeah, I was waiting for the reflex save.
Its reflex save is -1. It gets an 11. It fails.
Yay.
Which means it's sluggish again.
4 and sluggish again. So then I'm going to move the fuck away from this thing.
Okay, the creature does not look like it wants to fight you anymore. It looks like it's had enough. It's scorched hide. It really wants nothing to do with you, even though it came close to downing you.
Okay, so Grizzak's going to run the fuck away.
So Grizzak stood and cast a spell, and that's all he's doing. No, this round
Wait,
he
no,
casts a spell,
I didn't
and
fall.
then you're moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking for. It's moving away, or actually no, I have a move action. I'm gonna move here.
Okay, you move up the hill.
Yeah.
All right. The wolf is whining from the damage from the spell, and is going to kind of slink away a little bit. It is now licking at its wounds. Like literally licking its wounds, and it isn't following you, although you do not like the sounds of the approaching pack.
Look for a cave or a burrow or something.
Okay, so the wolf basically moved and is like licking itself, and then Grizzak's gonna take a look around. Give me a seek or a perception check.
Right, perception. I think it's 6 for me. Perception, no, it's 5.
Randomly, he's like, get it.
No, I'm gonna get that fucker. I'm gonna track him and eat them. 18
for looking around. Okay,
too much.
Grizzak, you're looking around, and you actually see where there is a what looks like not a cave but a hole.
Done. Good enough. Is it medium-sized hole?
Yeah, it is a considerable size hole, but
at least I can take them one at a time.
And it goes down.
Ah, for fuck's sake! All right, adventure time it is. This is an action, right? What I just did is an action.
Yeah, having a look around for something that was not obvious was a seek action.
I move towards it.
Okay.
How far away is it? Is it right there?
It's 20 feet away. All right, that's one move.
Actually, no, I don't do that. Sorry, back here. Where the fuck was I? I was over here somewhere. There. I'm casting heal on myself.
Okay.
So that's
you've got it prepared?
Spell. Yep. Heal. Oh god, it's gonna be everywhere. Oh fuck is heal. Did I write the fucking number? I think it's a D8. F Grease. Okay. H heal. All right, there we go. Heal. Channel positive energy. D8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier to willing living creature. I will take that to myself.
Okay, how many actions is your heal spell?
It is one action. It is
somatic casting or more, and you're somatic casting at range touch, so it is a single action. So basically, you conjure healing in your hand without making a noise, and you touch yourself and you heal yourself. How much?
And he could have done that while blasting, so he could have blast healed.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Heal.
So yeah, if I spend more actions, it can go longer. So range would be 30 feet, and then area of 30.
Well, you can
feet.
heal the
That's
wolf.
cool.
The wolf definitely needs healing.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Think
let's do
about
that. I'm gonna heal it with electricity.
Okay,
You can make him your animal companion, and then you have to
Yeah,
go through that
my-
nonsense.
So you moved
Balls.
away. No, wait. You looked around for the opening. You found the opening. You healed yourself. That's 2 actions. Did
Yeah,
you
I don't
roll,
need to get bit
Did you
when I
roll
get
for
there.
how much you heal?
It's a D8 plus my 4, right? My wisdom.
Right.
Let's read that again.
And no, you can't have random.
plus your spellcasting ability. This is a randomly roll for me.
You rolled an 8.
11. I will fucking take
Okay,
that.
so you call upon Obad High to heal your wounds, and your leg feels a little bit tingly as your flesh reknits from the wolf's vicious bites.
And then I move.
And then you move forward, and you can see that there is a 15-foot drop into what looks like a cavern, and the cavern opens up mostly to the north.
Here we go.
You're looking down here. It was hard to spot, and it is not quite a tight fit, but you don't know whether or not the wolves will just jump down.
Yep.
Of course, you don't know anything about wolves because you rolled an 8 on your knowledge nature. They
What
are
are these things?
they are angry animals, and something pissed them off.
All right, I got good. Happy travels.
What is this animal? It's a beast.
The druid not knowing what a wolf is broke my brain. My will is beaten. Have fun, gentlemen.
Yes,
Take care, man.
he'll get all the XP without you.
I don't want any.
All right, so these cats.
These cats are seriously strange looking.
All right, so this wolf is still licking its wounds as its pack mates are approaching, and they're coming in from the sides, and we'll just have them. We'll have them arrive approximately here. You can see them through the woods. We'll say that they have concealment through some of the underbrush from this distance. And this one basically looks up at its pack mates, but it's really injured, and it goes back to licking its wounds. Your turn, Grizzak.
Let's climb down. I
Okay.
don't want a 20-foot drop. Actually, quick question.
Yep.
I have a shield on my back, on my arm. Let's take the shield off.
Okay, you can manipulate your shitty shield, which is giving you no bonuses. You kind of shake it off your arm and drop it. Your broken
Okay.
shield is now dropped on the ground.
Can I stow it
Yes.
as the same move?
Yes.
Okay.
So you,
Okay, I do that.
you slip away your broken shield. One action.
Get back here, Woody.
The splinters of your broken shield are now on your
What is
back.
the shield? It is too dense and broken. Okay, and his name's Woody.
Are you gonna jump down, or are you gonna climb
No,
down?
we're gonna climb down. Not fucking jumping.
All right, I need to look up the climb skill, and of course, it is not the first. Skills are on page. What? Skills. I guess this is athletics because there is no climb skill anymore. So 146.
Yeah, I think it's athletics.
Climb. You move up or down or across an incline. Unless
Oh,
your
fuck
climb
me.
is particularly easy, you must attempt an athletics check. The DC is determined by the GM. Oh, great. Based on the nature of an incline and the environmental circumstance, if you fall, the grab edge use of acrobatics might allow you to catch yourself. You are flat-footed while climbing, unless you have a climb speed. Success. You move 5 feet up, across, or safely down an incline. If your speed is 40 feet or greater, you move 10 feet down. Critical success. You move half your speed up or across. So basically, I need to determine whether it's automatic or not. I don't think in combat it should be. Let's look at how difficult this should be. I think there is a skill DC by level and difficulty. Aha.
Your camera's doubled, which is worrying me. But that's cool.
Adam left, so VC is doing its poopy. It's having its little poop. There you go.
Worry addressed.
Okay.
You're so angry and mean.
Ordinary athletics checks. So climb a tree, level 0. I don't know what that means.
There's another table. Difficulty. What are
level,
you looking at?
Level 0. Give you. Got it. Okay. I have picked a low difficulty for a level 0 character. Climbing a cliff is level 2 difficulty. Okay, I know what the DC is.
Okay. 20.
You have climbed down 5 feet with your action.
5 feet?
You have 10 feet left to go.
So wait, I took my shield off.
Yep.
And I climbed down.
Yep.
I climbed down. Wait, do I have to roll again?
Yep.
Oh balls! Let's reduce the d6s. Yep.
Okay, you fail.
10 feet of damage ain't as bad as 15, so that's better. It's all right. I'll take that. All right, falling. Let's look up falling. Or I don't know how much I failed by. Falling. Climbing? Falling, here we go. When you fall more than 5 feet, you take bludgeoning damage. When you land, equal to half the distance you fell.
Okay, so I think you get a reaction first.
Wait. When you fall more than 5 feet, you take bludgeoning damage when you land, equal to half the distance you fell. So I just take 5 damage.
Yeah, hold on. I think there is a reaction
And
you can
prone.
do, which is called catch the lid.
Right.
Catch the edge.
Right.
So give me a second.
Which is, I think, it's either acrobatics or athletics.
So you'd be like, no, I try to catch the side, and you don't want to take the 5 damage.
And that's a reaction.
It is a reaction. And grab edge 144. Why is that not in the actions? Oh, because it's under the skill that it... Fucking stupid. All right. Grab edge is a...
Acrobatics. Grab edge. It is manipulate. Trigger. You fall from an edge or handhold, whatever. Hands are not tied behind. Okay. When you fall of an edge or handhold, you can use this reaction and attempt to grab it. Stopping your fall. If you grab it, you can climb up using athletics.
Okay, I'm going to say that the handhold, the DC to climb down is the same DC of grabbing the edge. So you need to make a DC 13 acrobatics check to grab a hold of the of a handhold as you're falling.
Woohoo! I do.
Okay, so you slipped and you're like, ugh, ugh. So that was your action. You didn't successfully climb down 5 feet. You're still 10 feet off the ground as the wolves are closing.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so next round.
So Tyler jumps.
Exploded. Basically, yes.
It's like, Grizzak's in the process of climbing. He is flat-footed while doing so, and the wolves are running in. The wolves are taking their first movement, which is 40. Their second movement, which is 40. And their third movement, which is 40. They're taking 3 strides forward, and I'm going to subtract some of their movement as they're going up hills.
I'm already in the hole, gentlemen.
Yep. One of the wolves goes over and is kind of snarling and snapping at the angry wolf, which is backing down because you delivered it such an ass kicking with your spells eventually. And Grizzak continues his climb down. You've got still 10 feet down before the edge. You can start to see that this place may have
Something.
somebody may have camped in here. Like you see a boot.
Wait, do I see a boot with like a bone sticking out of it?
You see a really old boot with a shin bone sticking out of it, and the shin bone's broken.
Can I just hold on to the ledge? Or is that a check?
You can just hold on.
Yeah. Can I cast while I'm here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've got a free hand, so you can just hold on and you can cast if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What are you
Fuck,
casting?
going down. It'll be electric arc this time. Because that shit gets more than one person.
Okay, well, you're 5 feet down. You can't see anything.
Oh, I know. I'm 5 feet down, so they can't reach me, right?
Oh, they could. At the edge, they could.
I'm 5 feet down. Wouldn't they have to be 10 feet? Here, I'm 5 feet down. Wouldn't they have to, wouldn't I be in their 10 feet range?
You've climbed down 5 feet. You're 10 feet off the ground. It's 15 feet high. I guess if we stack 5.
Because I'm 5 feet. There's 15 feet. I'm somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
I'm 5 feet down.
Yes. They would have to jump down in your head.
So my feet are 5 feet off the ground. My head is 10 feet off.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, this is a good spot.
Come on, Poochie Poochie.
So are you delaying or are you readying an action?
I'm readying. What is it called? It's readying?
Yeah, I think you need to finish your action to ready.
I'm actually no, I don't have to ready. I'm done.
Okay.
That was
so
my third
You're
move.
done. Okay.
Wait. It moved. They just moved, right?
Yeah, it's top of your turn.
Oh, just ready. Ready in action. It's when I see two wolves.
I don't think you can ready an activity,
Okay.
which is what spellcasting is.
I'll just wait for them.
Let me have a look here at ready.
Can I observe how high is the ceiling in the cave?
The ceiling's maybe about 8 feet.
8 feet
You
high.
you're kind of like looking at the thickness of the roof right now, if that makes sense.
Climb 5 feet down and and look with dark vision.
Okay, give me another climb check.
Perception. Climb. Okay.
Yep.
Fuck me. Let's do it again. See if I can grab on.
Yeah, ready is you prepare to use an action that will occur outside your turn. So I don't think you can prepare double like an activity.
Right.
Things that take up more than one action, unless it's a spell that takes up a single action. So I think you could ready to heal, but I don't think you can ready to...
What's the grab? The grab is 13.
Yep.
So I drop. So
did you make your grab check?
my grab, I'm same. I failed both.
Okay, let me just look at falling. So you fell basically 5 feet.
Falling is if you fall more than 5 feet.
Okay, so you ended up kind of you panicked a little bit, but you landed on both feet. And let me draw the rough room that you're in. I will do it with an outline, just kind of representing the chamber that you're in.
Hey, Frozen. Opinions so far. This is a brand new system, dude. Brand new system. It's very 4th edish. So you all ask how Magnus is doing. Tune in next week as we get back to doing Magnus. Yeah. Magnus.
Okay, Grizzak, you fall down. So you took a climb action, you failed, but you ended up falling. And your eye is attuned to the dark with your dwarven, wily eyes.
That's right.
And you see that the natural-looking cavern gives way to a chiseled staircase. There are bones and bits of old rusted armor strewn throughout the ground. And you can see, sitting in a chair, is a skeletal thing wearing armor.
You're in cahoots with the wolves, aren't you, motherfucker?
Let's just look up Skrellingtons.
Yeah. So skills are interesting. Skills you basically have either you're untrained, trained, expert, legendary, and master, and all of these are just +1s or -1s. So untrained is a -2, and master I think is a +3, and you add your level. So it's a d20 plus your level plus either a -2 or a +3. So when you get to level 10, your d20 plus either like lower limit is 8, or higher limit is 13. Kind of weird. Someone who's never done this versus like the best person in the world. That's skills. AOs, only fighters get them. Attacking at first level, everybody gets 3. There's actions. And everything costs actions. So removing my shield is an action, pulling out a sword is an action, putting it is an action. Spells have there's semantic, verbal, and what was the other one? Semantic, verbal, and something else. I can't remember what it is, but like that's a full round of casting. I'm casting spells that are semantic and verbal, so I can do a move. And
Okay.
material, yes, thank you, material.
The
been a long day.
The creature that is sitting, or the dead man that is sitting perfectly in the chair, is wearing some really old rusty chain shirt. It has a barbarian helmet on, and the creature is wielding or it has kind of like in one of its hand, pointed down, rusted in an old scabbard, is a sword in the shape of a scimitar.
Ooh, I got one of those.
So you dropped down. You did a climb. What were your actions this turn? You did a climb.
I did a climb and I fell. Does it?
Kenny, it's wielding the sword Conan used from the movie. Although it's a scimitar, but yeah, not a straight blade.
But there is a.
How many actions? Sorry,
I have 2 actions left.
2 actions left. What are you doing? Speaking is a free action. I believe.
So this thing is. Let's see how far this thing is. 45.
You haven't seen it move yet,
40.
but it's like precariously sitting there. Someone must have it must have died really peacefully and never been disturbed. You do see that there are many bones. There might have been half a dozen other skeletons that met horrible ends after their death.
Okay, I'm reading something here. Okay, first thing is I'm gonna read Greece because this thing trying to. Let's see what this thing moving around is like 30 feet. Target 1 object or 1 bulk or less, or 4 contiguous 5 feet squares. So that means I can make a line.
Mm-hmm.
Each creature within the area must attempt an acrobatics check or to maintain balance against your spell DC. Creatures later entering a square within the area must also attempt an acrobatics check to balance. A creature that takes a step doesn't have to balance. What? Okay, they've really nerfed Grease. I think. What the fuck is balance now? A creature that takes
it's part
a
of
step...
acrobatics.
Right, but what is... Like, it doesn't say here falling prone anywhere.
It probably is under maintain balance. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pull out my so I put away my shield. I'm gonna pull out my scimitar.
Okay.
Oh, actually, is there a skill or something I can maybe identify what the fuck this thing is?
There is a let me check to see if religion does this.
Untrained. And what is its thing? Religion is int or wisdom?
There is probably a lore check, but let me just check to see what religion is supposed to do. You're like, what is a skeleton?
What is a skeleton? What does Grizzak know about? He didn't know what a wolf was.
Well,
so...
you knew what wolves were. You just didn't know the behaviors of wolves. Apparently, they come in groups. I'm learning the hard way. All right. Is religion just basically like the old knowledge check? Let's read religion. All right, it says you can do a check to recall knowledge about creatures with divine significance. Well, that's fucking helpful. I gotta look up. It doesn't.
Yeah, Grizzak he's adult. He hasn't taken care of himself. Let's put it that way.
Evil, medium, mindless, skeleton, undead. Okay. Let me see if any of these things have religious significance. I'm assuming they do.
Yeah. Is this in another book?
Yes. There's a bestiary that has a bunch of shit at the beginning of it, and
it's the official official term for it.
A bunch of shit. And I just want to read about the type. See if it's got types. Ooh. Once living, creatures infused with death and negative energy. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, it has religious significance. And I'm going to go to this handy chart that I have a feeling I'm going to stare at for hours. It is the skill DCs by level. It is a level 0 monster. I'm going to say it is a DC 10 to recall information.
Okay. Holy fuck, this is kind of useless. Maintain balance.
So give me your religion check.
Which is my wisdom plus level.
Are you trained in it?
-2.
-2 for being untrained. Okay.
So is it wisdom? I'm not sure what it is for.
Religion is wisdom, correct.
Okay. So D20 plus level 1 plus wisdom 4 -2 untrained 10.
Yeah, you know about undead, and you know that your positive healing energy could harm it. You know that this thing is somewhat resistant to piercing.
Slashing?
Piercing and slashing. You need bludgeoning weapons to do damage to it.
This is sort of like, fuck! What about magic?
You don't know enough about it.
Okay.
All right, let's see what.
You're
which one of these works.
hoping that it's just some dude who died on a stone chair. The guy looked important, and you kind of glance to the side. Somebody's been around here. There might be other weapons in the trash, but these things may have met violent ends. But there's still this guy in the barbarian helm sitting in the throne, and you're hoping that nothing happens. You turn for a moment as you hear the wolves. Were that all three of your actions?
That was my perception was an action.
Yep.
So I'm actually going to. I can't do anything. Ready to strike.
Your knowledge skill was definitely an action. Okay, so you're ready to strike if something comes to you. You glance up as you hear the wolves. They're approaching, and they're circling around the opening, but they're not jumping down. It seems to be too high of a jump for them. They're snarling when they see you, and they're nipping at each other. Yeah, you don't want to have to go through that wolf fight with all of them. You're pretty sure if all of these wolves came at you, it would be your end. Grizzak then turns around when he hears this slight scuttling of bones, kind of like. And you notice that one of its hands across the armrest that it's on is kind of going, kind of like flickering, and a little bit of its jaw moves as it's rising up, and it just slowly, with this creaking noise and a slight grinding of the rusty chains, the creature is standing from prone on its turn. It then takes out its weapon. It seems to try to take out the weapon outside of the sheath, but the sheath is so like rusted over and kind of like old, and it's got cobwebs stuck over it that it can't quite do it. It kind of slips on it, and then it's going to raise its weapon and start moving forward.
Okay.
It may not be fighting as effectively as it could with the weapon in its sheath, but it is moving forward, and it scuttles forward 25 feet.
So that gives me 15 feet.
A strange sound, like something unnatural is happening in this cave. Grizzak, you were lucky that your dwarvish eyes can see the skeleton rising up and moving towards you. If you were but a man with their horrible eyesight, it might just be shadows and death. Your turn, bud. The wolves are not coming down. They're not brave enough to jump down 15 feet.
Grease on the skeleton.
Okay, what is the configuration of your grease?
This thing.
Are you just doing a box? Are you doing a line, or?
I'll do a line, actually.
Like getting it square. Oh, that means we need to change what tool we're using. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, so you're doing it square, and then what squares? Leading right up to you?
And actually make an L.
Like that?
Yeah, can I get around that?
On this side, yes. On that side, no. Well, we'll have to look up squeezing.
Okay, can you put the put it here?
Okay. So contiguous grease. You call upon Obad High to conjure the greasiest grease that ever did grease. And now the skeleton needs to do a thing, I think.
So, right. So on grease, it needs to bounce. So, I have the maintain balance. If you want to read grease, I'm gonna read maintain balance to you.
Okay, range 30 feet, target. It lasts for 1 minute. Okay, you conjure greasy goo. You're targeting an area. Each creature within the area must attempt an acrobatics check to maintain balance against your spell DC, which is your DC. Okay.
15.
What its acrobatics is +3. And what happens when it fails?
It must. Oh fuck! I don't know.
It's got a 17. Yep.
Balls. It must. I assume it must do it again the next square. If it's gonna move.
Each creature within the area must maintain. Creatures later entering a square within the area must also attempt an acrobatics check. A creature that takes a step doesn't have to balance. Okay.
A creature takes a step does not have to balance. So if it's moving, no, it's entering. So if it's already in.
Yep.
Okay, so it should be able to come right up to me then.
Okay, so maintain balance. So that's part of it's part of the acrobatics skill. I just want to read it because this is the
Maintain
first time.
balance. Maintain balance is on page 144.
Thank you.
Bottom right. Try to keep your balance to avoid falling.
Oh,
Succeed, you keep your balance.
okay. All right, so it doesn't. So it probably didn't have to make its acrobatics check right away. It probably each creature
Tries
within
to
the area
move.
attempts to make an acrobatics check against your spell DC.
So how often does it have to do it? Because if does it do it once and then you're good to walk around in the grease? Because that's a good protective spell. You know what I mean?
Right. So the trigger is the spell appearing. So okay, all right. They success. They keep your balance. So I think it keeps its balance.
Right. But for how many squares? And what is the
Creatures
that's the-
later entering a square within the area must also attempt acrobatics check to keep balance. I think it's done keeping its balance. Creature within the area. So if it stays within the area, it has to maintain its balance. We'll say it's that way.
Okay.
So it has a thing affecting it. It's going to try to maintain its balance as it's moving forward. It fails. So as it's trying to move forward, it falls prone. So that was its move.
Okay.
As its second action, it stands up, and then it attempts to move again, which it does, and then moves up to you.
Okay.
So it fell, it tried to move, it fell, it got back up, and then moved. So it's...
So Grizzak's gonna move. It's done its turn, right?
Yep.
Oh, balls. Wait, hold on. My action is there. I don't want that. I don't want that. Hold on.
And I'll just move the wolves off to the side because they're not coming down. They're circling.
Grizzak's gonna move here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much movement, so this is gonna be interesting.
Okay.
It's very interesting how they made the grease spell, by the way. I kind of like it, but anyway, let's try fire. To do the reflex save. So produce flame.
Maintaining balance is a reaction. Interesting.
So it moved as one, fell, got up, and another one moved again.
Yeah, let's look at Grease again. Because I think it can do this as a reaction.
To keep balance, or to stand up. Because the three actions you took were not.
At the time of casting, each creature within the area, like I get this, each creature in the area must attempt an acrobatics check, and this is a reaction. Creatures later entering a square within the area must also make acrobatics check to maintain balance.
Entering a square within the
creature
area.
that takes a step doesn't have to balance. So if they 5-foot step forward, they can just inch their way forward. Now, what happens on the next round when the goo is still there?
Okay, so he shouldn't have had. He could have just. So he made the first success, and he could have moved right to me then.
Yeah, he made the first success not on his turn. That was his reaction. Then on the beginning of his turn, his reactions reset. He's in the area, and I think he still had to make another attempt to move through. That round, he had to maintain his balance. He failed. He fell down. He got back up, and then made it, and then moved forward. But I don't think he gets to make it that second time. Because it's a reaction, you only get one reaction around. So the question for Grease is... That's what I don't understand.
I would think that every time you move in a square, every time you enter a square that has grease.
I don't think it's squares. It's when it talks
the
about the
area.
area. Yep.
Because what I would do is cast grease, right, and move around in it if I don't need to. If I like make my save, I can move around in it. Let's say a bunch of us cast grease and we step in it.
Yeah. But maintain balance is a reaction. So, and you only get one reaction around. Now, the question is, each creature within area must attempt an acrobatics check. So, I think it's when do ongoing effects start to affect you, and that has to go with round. Give me a second. That has to go with your turn.
It's at the end.
It's at the end.
So it had to roll net last time. It fell, stood up as one, moved as a second. It should have had an attack on me last round.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, so it fell down. It started the round prone, right?
No. It succeeded, and then it tried to move.
Oh, it succeeded against the grease.
The first one, it succeeded. Yep. Yeah, when it was cast, it succeeded.
And then I think it just moves up to you.
That's weird. Yeah, play vanilla. Play vanilla, don't change it.
Each creature within the area must attempt acrobatics check to maintain balance against your spell DC. Okay, fine. Creatures entering a square with the area must also make an acrobatics check. A creature that takes a step doesn't have to balance.
That doesn't make any sense. Creature that takes a... Oh, no. That takes a 5-foot step.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He could have just 5-foot stepped through the grease up to you and then attacked.
Right.
But the thing is stupid. It's just moving forward. So as its move, I think there's a condition on and then it failed. So then it fell.
Right.
On its turn. So attempt to move forward, it failed because it didn't step. Then it got back up, which it can do, and then it
tries to move.
And then it tries to move again. So move, fail, fall, get back up from prone, and then move. So basically, it moved to here. That's all it did.
Right. And then Grizzak gets to take his move.
Yep. And the creature kind of flinches as you're going by, but it doesn't get an attack of opportunity because it's not a fighter. So then it comes at Grizzak, and it's trying to move in the difficult terrain without taking steps. Although you're only 5-foot step away from it now. So the smart thing for it to do is just take a step. That's all it has to do. It takes a step forward. It just takes a step forward as one of its actions, and then it's going to strike at you with this weapon.
I do get magic off.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you moved as your action, and then you've got 2 other actions. Okay. So
right.
So the skeletal thing is twitching and moving and trying to get towards you.
So, no, wait, not reflex save.
Maybe it just ends falls in a comedy skit.
I'll try electricity first. See what happens.
Okay.
Electric arc.
What are you doing? Electric arc?
Electric arc. So you need a reflex
How many of those do you have left?
Those are cantrips.
Nice. Two components?
Yep. It's 2 actions.
So Grizzak jumps around his grease bell and lets off an electrical strike. Does it get a saving throw?
Yes. I don't attack, and it gets a saving throw.
Okay, it critically fails.
Ooh. Okay, hold on.
As there's a miniature storm lightning strike.
Yeah, what was this? So this thing is, let's see what it does. Electric arc. Okay, so this thing on a critical success, the target takes... Oh, no, wait. It failed, so it takes double damage. I don't know what electricity will do to it. So 2d6. 2d6. 11 damage. Ooh.
Okay, it takes only 6. However, it only has 6 hit points,
Oh,
so it explodes.
Yeah!
You conjure this
he
little
dances.
miniature.
Grizzak starts dancing, and he flips in his own grease.
There is a miniature kind of cloud that sort of swirled around in its rib cage, and the lightning bolt went straight up into its head. There's this wonderful splintering of bones and old armor that go flying all over the place. You can hear the wolves growling and howling outside.
Hey!
He's trying to whistle, he can't.
Slipping on his grease for a moment. The bones in the room settle, and there's no other
Okay.
there's no other
Grizzak.
noise in this chamber.
Grizzak's going to detect magic as cantrip and start scanning the area. Let me see what detect magic does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a barbarian!
Oh, he's gonna put on the barbarian hat. He'll keep the jawbone, like he'll just like tie it to the side of the helmet. Okay, detect magic. Magic aura. No. You can detect magic while moving at half your travel speed. You have no
Yeah,
chance of
detect
accidentally
magic is a
overlooking-
thing you can do while traveling, which is funny.
Right. Okay. What? Stealth, no. Detect magic. 30-foot aura. 30-foot aura? Huh. So the
What
30-foot.
page is this on?
This is on page 2. Fuck it, this thing. 214.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, you don't have control F. Detect magic.
Detect magic appears in like the PDF like 100 times. So
I know. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like clicking like, and then nope. There it is. They're on around the spell section. Here we go. Detect illusion magic only if it has a lower level than the level of your detect magic spell. You detect illusion. Sorry. However, items that have an illusion. No, okay,
you send out a magical pulse. It's no longer a cone. It's kind of like a boom
yeah.
in a 30-foot aura around you. You can choose to ignore magic you're fully aware of, such as your allies' magic items and ongoing spells. Interesting. You detect illusion magic only if the magic's effects have a lower level than the level of your detect magic spell. So you would only detect
Illusions. If
0th
it's,
level
illusions.
illusions.
They were I got here. So, the fuck killed you?
He's looking at the boot. He's picking up the boot with the bone in it.
Okay.
So what happened? Speak to me. Speak. Useless.
The wolves are howling a little bit. As you're scanning the room and looking at things, you do notice that the hilt of the blade that is trapped in the stone,
In the scabbard.
in the scabbard that is like petrified over and rusted to the hilt, there is magic coming from that. There is a faint magical aura.
Ooh,
It's-
shiny.
It's almost like the scabbard is hiding the aura.
Shiny. Let's see what you got here. Sorry. Sorry, dinner knife. I'll have to replace you or keep you.
Dinner knife is his other scimitar.
Nice. The grease eventually goes away.
Yep. So Okay, so he'll try to get the blade out, or just smack it against the something till it's...
Okay, you smack it against something, it doesn't chip off. You try to pull it open, it doesn't slide out.
Let's hope I don't cut myself. Strength check, nothing happens, I
Nope.
assume.
Nope.
Fuck happened here?
So he's gonna search the area.
Okay. You find that one of the skeletons must have been wearing a silver ring.
Ooh.
That is not raiding magic. You can add that to your treasure. It is a
It
silver
is not
ring.
just a silver
Nope.
ring. Okay.
It's a silver ring worth 10 silver pieces. And it might seem like low amounts, but they've shifted in Pathfinder 2.0 all the values of things almost kind of like down a little bit. So 10 silver pieces is not insignificant when your starting wealth at first level was 150 silver. So you find a silver ring on one of the skeleton hands. You don't like the way the helmet makes you feel because it's metal.
Oh, yeah, okay, get rid of
You kind of picked it up and went, no, I'm not going to put this on, and you chucked it off to the side.
Okay.
You've got this scimitar that you don't know how you're going to get this out of. Like it's almost like it's stuck in its scabbard still. And if you hit it too hard, you might be doing damage to the weapon. You may need some help with this.
And what's the weight of the scimitar?
I believe one bulk. Yeah.
Okay, so that gives me 5 bulk if I take it.
I'm assuming you're
Right.
taking the magical thing.
Yeah, and leaving my trashy.
Are you keeping your broken shield, or you keeping it?
Well, am I gonna be encumbered?
Actually, these warriors, these were barbarians. You find like a lot of the weapons have been broken, but you do find a serviceable wooden shield down here that can replace the one that you lost.
A heavy wooden shield?
Yes.
Hey, Woody too. You're reincarnated.
You're reincarnated. You toss aside your broken one and you take Woody one, or are you keeping your broken one?
Oh, I'm taking the new one.
Hey,
Okay.
Woody too.
He looks with shame at the old broken one.
You'll do better this time. Yeah, you would. Yeah. Oh, what's going on now? Let's have a seat.
Goes to sit down.
Okay, you sit down in the stone chair to the sound of the wolves baying outside, and I think this is a good place to leave our first combat, as Grizzak is waiting for the wolves either to go away or for Grizzak to recover his powers so he can go back out and teach these wolves a lesson or two. You may
Actually,
want to...
do they ever show up at the edge here?
Yeah, they do show up at the edge.
Ooh. I'll hit him with spells till they back off.
Okay, so you got the wolves backing off into the surrounding wilderness, and you may be found by other adventurers who are on the road. Grizzak has a little bit less of a reason to go to a very particular town that the Doomsday campaign will be about, or at least the first part of it. But the others might be on their way to the town as they investigate what are these wolves so interested in the vicinity of these ancient ruins. For now, Grizzak is sitting on this old barbarian chieftain's seat, trying to figure out how he's going to get out of this. Just passes out with his new shield and the sword that he cannot get out of the petrified and rusty scabbard.
Is there any writing anywhere on the seat or?
No, barbarians must have been from a previous edition, and they were illiterate back then. Right. These were 3rd edition barbarians that got buried in this cairn. I think this is a good place to leave it. Now, I am going to look at, like, how do I award you XP? This is really interesting. And then how do I award you XP when there's only one of you and not a group of 4? Which is really fucking weird, too.
Level 2, Grizzak!
No, you've got a magic item, maybe.
Maybe. I'll use the hilt. It's +1. Yeah. Maybe if I memorize Acid Splash, I can melt the scabbard off.
Okay, so I need to go to the bestiary to find out about XP.
Ooh, that's interesting, actually. Melt the scabbard off to, like the back, the spine of it to crack it off.
It's weird. They stuck a bunch of DM stuff in the bestiary, like how to get through doors and hazards and like all the stuff they didn't want to show the players. Building encounters. I guess building an encounter, not building encounters,
like encounters in buildings.
Encounters in buildings. Ah, the creepy neighbor. Erotic nut, we're looking at you. Let's see. XP. Why aren't they showing me how to give XP?
No hero points used. So wait a minute. I would start next session.
You could have used a hero point at some point.
Because I would lose it.
Yep.
Okay.
You could have.
Okay, so hero.
Yeah,
point.
you should read up on what hero points do.
Yeah, because hero point. Here, heroic recovery. You can spend 1 hero point to lose the dying condition. Well, all right, that's cool. Heroic points. Hero points. Okay, spending 1 hero point allows you to stave off death. Anytime you gain the death condition, you can spend 1 hero point to lose the dying condition entirely and increase the dying condition. Otherwise, blah blah blah, cause you to die if you have 0. Okay, so no, I can't. Or I could use both. Allowing 2 allows you to roll a d20, re-roll a d20.
Rewards 339. Okay.
You must use the second result. If you fail it, you gain 1. Spend.
Holy fuck. Like, how fucking obtuse could they be? Experience was rewarded for combat and social encounters. XP is also done for exploration. Blah, blah, blah. The XP award is based on the level of the challenge overcome. Okay. Use the rules for creating encounters in the Pathfinder playtest bestiary to determine these values. Got it. So let's go to the bestiary. All right,
wolf?
thanks.
So what did I do? I did the wolf, I did climbing, and I did the skeleton.
No, but they're making this gigantic assumption that Marty actually planned the wolf ahead of time by planning out the encounter and not just going, okay, a wolf is a CR2, what is a CR2 worth? Or a CR1 or whatever. So there's this weird...
How many would you expect me to beat before I got to...
None. No, like 1 would have been a really good fight for a party. Creature XP and roll. A creature of the party's level, which is 1, and I think a wolf is 1, is 40 XP. Any standard or low threat boss. So that was, 40 out of 1,000, right, is what you need.
That's still what?
4%.
25 wolves?
You got 4% of your... But everyone gets the same amount. So when I award 40 XP, everyone gets 40 XP.
So let's say there's 10 people in my party.
Then it starts...
I would convert... Yeah, so I just convert that.
It's for a 4-person... Yeah, it's a 4... It's... It's fucking weird, right? What happens if there's 5 people in the party? Okay, then everyone's doing different things and gaining a bunch of, like, you can hacks the XP system, and instead of dividing by 5, you're just saying everyone gets 40 for everything. But let's do a party of 12. You have 4 independent parties, all like, just give me a value and stick it in a fucking linear chart or like a chart and make the numbers go high. I like that the numbers are lower, like as in we're dealing with 40, not 400. But, like, how do I do this? Should you get 3 times as much because you did a one-on-one fight? Or does everyone in your new party get 40 even though they weren't part of the fight? I'm a little pissed off at... I'm a little... Like, this actually gets Marty a little bit mad. Like, this system for XP Marty's getting mad right now, going,
No, Marty. No, Marty.
Why is it infinitely more complex? No,
Yeah.
it's slightly more complex. Okay, so the wolf is worth 40 XP. Congratulations. And then the skeleton was only worth 30. And then you found the cool place with the cool thing where you could hang out. I'm going to say that's worth 10. And I'm going to give you 20 XP for helping me figure out our first combat, dude.
Yeah.
So that's 40 plus 30 plus 20, which is 90. You've got 100 XP.
So that. Oh, wow. Yeah. 10% of the way.
Yep.
10 more of these to go.
Well, yeah, like that's probably not too bad. Of course, the more people you have involved, the more things you can take on. Like if you go, well, if each of those wolves is worth 40, then it's not quite that way. But yeah, cool stuff, man. This is a good place to leave it.
Cool.
And we've got a flavor for what Grizzak's about. Grizzak's about lightning. Grizzak's about swearing. Grizzak is about feeding feces to wolves and wondering why they get pissed off. I thought that would be funny to start off
What do
the
them
game.
teeth mean?
And I think somebody already said in
Those are some strange cats.
strange cats. No, like what movie is this the beginning of?
Yeah, I know.
Conan the Barbarian, right?
Yeah.
This is
wolves.
Dinner for wolves.
Yeah.
This is him getting chased by wolves at the beginning, and well, kind of the beginning. You go through the whole slavery and pushing the wheel thing.
His freedom.
But yeah, and finding a cool magic sword. I don't know how magic works yet, so I'm making the magic sword stuck in the hilt. You don't just get to bang it free. Maybe that's the reason why you seek out a wizard or a cleric or somebody else who can help you unsheath the sword. So that is
Grizzak's
basically
good with not even unsheathing it.
well, maybe it would act as like a makeshift bludgeoning weapon in scimitar style. It's your bludgeoning scimitar.
Yeah, you know what? He's gonna get rid of. Yeah, a shield really doesn't make that much sense. So when I hit, okay, pause.
Yes, it does. It saved you 6 damage.
It saved me a bunch of damage. That's right. But the best thing for Grizzak to do would be to have a sword and a free hand, because I can cast and attack, cast and attack, cast and attack, and if I get damaged, I'll have my heal spells, heal, in one round.
Yeah, we really have to look up to see if it means for the components about Holly, can you just have it around your neck and just sort of reach up and touch it, or does that mean you actually have to have it in your hand? I suspect it means that you have to have it in your hand, but
I think it's a move. Otherwise, imagine Grizzak casting 3 produce flames in a round. That's really powerful for first level. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you could, because it's in your hand. Could you? Give me a second.
I don't think so. So that's the equivalent of anyone doing 3 attacks.
Oh, I'm like, why is it not finding the page
that's
called
powerful.
Produce Flame?
That's really powerful, though.
Produce Flame.
No, all the spells are like that, Marty.
Somatic Verbal. It's a ranged touch attack, so you still have to make a touch attack.
Go to the what's it called? The arc. What's it called? Electric arc. Electric arc. So there's 2 types. There's 2 flavors of cantrips that I've seen so far. Either you make an attack roll and they auto take damage.
Yep.
Or they auto get hit and they make a saving.
Yeah, which is like how you should balance spells. I think that is perfect balance.
That's kind of cool, because I'm like, okay, do they have a high AC? Yes.
I think there's still at least one action, because you need to touch, and that's part of an attack roll. So I don't think you can do Produce Flames. I think it's still 2 actions.
What if I'm already holding it?
You still have to do the attack, which is part of the action. You still have to do the somatic action.
Somatic.
Somatic is still is attacking.
It's still
However,
an action.
electric arc, you do have a point. Give me a second. Electric arc is somatic casting and verbal. Let's look at what it means to be a druid. Spell casting actions. Somatic. If you're a druid casting a spell from the primal tradition while holding a primal focus, so you're holy and mistletoe inside of a big turd, you don't have to have a free hand to take this action, and you can touch the target with the focus instead. So you touch it with the turd. Don't have to have a free... Oh, you still have to do the action. So yeah, you're only doing one around.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we were wrong in allowing the activity of spellcasting to bridge rounds. Okay, we made that mistake and we fixed it. And then you have to have this holy or this focus in your hand, but that you don't need another free hand to touch, which is kind of weird.
The only benefit the sword gives is being able to attack 3 times in a round. More attacks. There's no chance of crit failure, so I don't care, right?
Yes, we will look on that. We will look into that one. We've got a pile of things to look into. But
and archers, can archers also go? The rangers, that's pretty pimp.
Crit fail? Question mark. Like, is there anything bad that happens when a crit fail? Like, do you just stop attacking? That would be one way to, at least have some sort of consequence to a crit failure.
Or if you hit negative.
Well, if you miss by 10, it's also if you miss by 10, it's also a critical fail. Just like if you hit by over 10, it's a critical hit. So that wolf with his 14 AC, if you rolled a 24 and didn't roll a 20, it's still a critical hit. Like
See, I had a +3 to hit. It has a +7 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my better choice was to use magic. Like like I was saying, electric arc is beautiful because he reflex saves.
What it means to be a druid: roll in dirt, eat what nature provides, enjoy the freedom of ramming one's face into beehives for honey. Maybe cave paintings for druid artists.
Honey badger.
Just start licking fucking angry bees everywhere.
I'm a flower. Look at me, beautiful.
Grizzak
Like a flower.
hanging out in this horrible little crypt. Okay, I think this is a good place to leave it. We will continue with starting the campaign tomorrow. We'll introduce Adam's character and we'll get Mark to build a character. I will build a character that will round out the party based off of what Mark picks.
What's missing?
So we've got a druid, which is a divine caster.
So they
and we have a cleric.
They find a dwarf sitting on the chair with a shield in one arm, a sword in the other.
You hear this horrible, ghostly, ghastly noise. It's fucking sleep apnea.
Wakes up with a fart. What happened?
Nice. That's awesome. All right, good stuff, Ahmed. And
what was that?
Thanks for being a good sport and helping
my butt's a bard.
helping us figure out if Pathfinder playtest is for us, and to give valuable feedback too, right? Like, this is going to become second edition, and chances are this will be the game that we're going to spend many hours playing. So, yeah.
Say it ain't so, Marty.
Say it ain't so. It's the playtest. We can give the feedback, and if they don't listen, then we'll just play first edition forever and be those grognards. But yeah, good stuff.
Let me forever.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. It was a lot of fun as always,
good hanging out with you guys.
Good to see you guys here. Thanks for your patience as we muddle our way through the rules. And tomorrow we will start the Pathfinder playtest campaign and see how much the players like it. How much we play of the campaign will depend on how much the players like it. This has been Die Dark and Die, and hope you guys enjoy this as much as we do. Peace.
Peace, guys. Peace. Oh, Marty. Grizzak's gonna reassemble the bones and have them sit around. And he's gonna name them.
Hey,
Nice.
Give him like here's a shield. Your shield.
here's your knife.
Hilarious. Have a good one, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you too, buddy.
Bye.
See ya.